Today we're going to be making a complete full stack MERN application using MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. So initially what we're going to do is we're going to get a ready-made backend, which is going to be a Node backend API that is built using the Express library. And we're going to try to integrate it and connect it with a front-end React application and front-end React, client. So we're going to try to integrate it together to complete a full stack application. And this is one complete video for, beginners. And it's really, I'm going to go with the core basics. So, you're going to love this. So let's go and start out. First, let's go and open up a folder over here. Now we have a simple CRUD project folder here. I'm going to go and CMD here, code and dot here. It's going to open it up in Visual Studio Code. Let's just create a folder here. So I'm going to create a folder here and I'm going to call this as server. All right. And we're also going to create another folder here and that is going to be called client. Now in the server folder, remember, like usual, we normally open up in, in two terminals over here. And over here we have, CD client and then CD server on the right side. Now CD, yeah, we are in the server. So CLS here and CLS here. Now what we're gonna do now is, package dot, we could do npm init -y to, get the package.json for the server. But what I'm gonna do is I already have the server for us so that we don't have to do all of it ourselves, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the browser and go to github.com and we're gonna have to go to devmatin. Now devmatin, let's see what it was. One other thing is that just a second. Yeah, devtamin. One thing. Okay, so my laptop is about to die, so I'm gonna put the charging on. All right. Now over here we have this node -API-v2. We're gonna click on this and we're gonna make sure we clone it. So we could get this. I would put this link in the description and also a shout out to the person who made this entire application. And we're gonna, do it in really basics way. So I'm gonna go here and we're gonna go to this simple CRUD project and go into our server folder. Over here we're gonna open up CMD and we're gonna have git clone and then paste the repo, and there you go. Now this is done. You could see the node -API-v2 and inside of it is all of that. What I would recommend is not have a server folder, but have all of this crossed out and just placed here inside instead. Now what we're gonna have to do is that because it's open right now, let me just cross the applications that are on. So all of that stuff has to be deleted. And I will try to do it again. So cross it out from here. And let me just go back one step and paste it here. Okay, it's still, there's something that's causing the issue. Maybe it's this. So let's try it again. Server, cross out, and bring it here. All right. So we have the node app and also that. Let's just change the server. Let's delete the old one and have this new one and just name it as server. So server. All right. So now let's just go back to our project here, open it up using Visual Studio Code. So one other way to do this is show more options and then open with code if you have Windows. Now this is opened up. You can see the server has a lot of the files and it also restored my old state. Pretty neat. Now the thing is, this is really awesome. That the reason why I did this server folder is that it's really well structured, and this is how a MERN backend should look like. Yeah, the Node backend. So you could see that there's a controllers folder. It has a product controller.js. Now normally how I would read the server would be, first I would start with the server.js. Now you can see I have .env config, right? That means we're allowed to use the .env file over here. And in this .env example, you could see that there are some credentials here. We have to put the port as 3000, all right, for the backend. Front end port is this one. the MongoDB URI should be populated here, and then the node inv is development. So this is already there for you. So all you got to change is the MongoDB URI. You just have to add your own string, connection string. But other than that, you could see over here we have Express, we have Mongoose, we have, okay, now there's some problem here. Change the spelling for this. It's not a big deal, but just change it to product route, and wherever it's being used over here, it's got to be used somewhere over here. Yeah, so this one, just add that. So now we're done with that. So what's happening is that we're using Mongoose to handle the database, Express to, you know, the framework that is handling our backend API, and then over here we have the product route. It's basically going from the routes. Now, normally, you know, you would see that I have a lot of other videos where we did MERN applications. Over here, we have the slash. This is just the main page, and it says hello node API. This is responding, you know, the backend API is responding with this message to our client. And over here, we have slash blog, and it would say, hello blog, my name is Devtamin. You could add your own name. So I'll say, my name is Haris. All right. So over here, we have app.use, and we have error middleware. So this is just middleware configuration here. Mongoose.set strict query false, mongoose.connect. This is how your database is connecting. So it's also done in the server.js. You could change this to index.js. Just I changed it. It doesn't really matter. But other than that, I guess everything is there. Package.json has one thing. If you change that, you'll have to change the serve over here to index.js, as well as the nodemon to index.js as well for it to work. Now you can see that everything else seems okay, but the problem is that we have dependencies here, .env, express, and all that, but we need to do npm I just to have everything ready with our proper versions. All right, so right now I just wanted to say that this has app.use/API/products, and this is the product route. Now you might be asking, where is this route coming from? We created a complete different folder, which is routes, and it has the product route. So if I open it up, it has only the APIs that are related to the product. So we have the product route, and it has product ID, it has update a product and delete a product, and all these cool APIs. All right. So now that we have all of this out of the way, we could go to the controllers, and over here we have, okay. So in the product route, we had these routes, right? So you can see that the product route had Express, opened up on Express, you know, product and all that. We don't have to write any of the code because this boilerplate is there for you. So we have this .. models and the product model. Now, of course, we have to, this application has a simple model, and I'm going to open up the model, and it's over here. And it's simple, just a single product. Like suppose if you want to sell something, it has a name, it says in a string, and it's in a, you know, true, and you have to enter it. So quantity, it's a number, price is a number, an image, all right, which is a string. Now timestamps is equal to true, and then the model is being created using the schema, and you know, it's exporting. So this is that model that's going to be saved in our database, and we're using that model here in our product route.js, and these are the routes that are different. You know, router.get / just get all the products, get product a single using the ID, create product using post, update product using put, delete product using delete. So all the CRUD application here, but what's happening is that I don't put the logic to the API endpoint. I actually call this, you know, get products, get product, create product, update product, delete product from, you know, require is equal to the controllers and the product controller. So basically all of that logic is in the controllers. And if you go to the controller, so module.exports router, so let's go to the controllers, and that's where all the logic will be. So over here, let's drag that in over here, and this is where, you know, get products, and it has the get function. Over here, you just have the models and as well as the async handler to, you know, express async handler, and then you can see the get all products, get a single product, create a product, update a product, and then we have delete a product, and we're also module.exports. We have all of this, we're exporting these, and we're being, we're able to use all these in here, right here. So that's why, we destructured it over here, and then we used them one by one. And this is how it's going to work. So essentially in my index.js, you could see that I'm calling all the routes /API/products, and then the product route is coming from the product route. And this is, bringing up all of these things. So it's pretty well structured, organized. And that's why I use this repo. Amazing. So now that we have this, let's open it up in the server folder. This is our client on the left. So I could just say cd client, and I'm in the client. And if I do CLS and cd server, I would be in the server side. Now, of course, I'm in the server, and I have to do one thing, which is npm I. When I do this, it's installed the node modules folder. It was missing, but now it's installing. So you can see now the node modules folder is installed, and it has a lot of the libraries that we're going to be using. But the thing is that in the .env, it will be ignored. Now let's create an env. So over here, .env. And you can see these things are grayed out. The reason why it's grayed out is that my .getIgnore has both of these inside, and that's why it's not going to push it to the repo. Now, what we can do is in the .env, let's get the .env example, just copy this entire thing and just paste it here. Now, MongoDB URL, let's get the MongoDB URI from the MongoDB. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to mongodb.com. So let's go here, mongodb.com/atlas. Now, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to sign in. You could create an account using Google, whatever you have. After that, once you have your account, let's create a new project. So over here, plus new project. And then we could give a name to the project, let's say simple CRUD. And then we have to give permissions to create the project to the project owner. Now what's going to happen is that after some time, I'm going to get this. I'm going to go to the database. And over here, I'm going to build a database. And it's going to say M10 or serverless or M0. I'm going to use M0 AWS, the region that's next to me, cluster 0, and then create. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to be provided with username and password. We're going to make sure we copy the password. So just it's recommended to just have a text file, paste your password in, and also paste your username. So my username is this, copy this, and go to that text file and paste that in there as well. Create the user, and then my local environment. All right. The IP address is going to be your current one. Right now it's by default. This one is my current IP address, and then finish and close. Now you see congratulations on setting up access rules. Go to overview. What we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we have the network access. So go to network access. You could see that's my current IP address, but make sure you have add IP address and allow access from anywhere. This is going to populate it with 0.0.0.0. So 4 times /0 access list entry, and then just confirm. Now it's going to take some time, but it's going to make this active as well. Let's go to the database to connect it. So over here, we're going to go to connect, and then there's drivers, and we're going to click on that. You can see Node.js, and then you npm install MongoDB. Should be done. And then we copy this connection string, and you already know where should we paste it. We should paste it right in here. Now the thing is that we have our username, but the password is going to be required. So the password that we saved in our text file, we could now just copy it from here and just override it into this. Okay, so once we do that, we are ready now. So let's cross this .env file, and let's run our server. So it should be running npm run dev. Now make sure we type this in, and let's see what happens. Now look and see. We could see that our connected to MongoDB and Node API app is running on port 3000. Amazing. Now that is running. We could check that using, localhost and 3000, and look, hello Node API. It's basically, this is a response coming from the the Node API backend, the the Express framework, and it's essentially a response that I'm seeing on my client end. So this message is coming from here /Node API. Now we could also go to /blog. It would share that. This is the code to add a connection to the Mongo database. So what we do is we use mongoose.set strict query to false, but we also have mongoose.connect, and then it has the Mongo URL. And this Mongo URL is coming from, the process.env Mongo URL, and then, I created that string here, but I'm connecting it using this code, which is app.listen and a port, and then we have console.log. Node API app is running on this port. So this connect function is the only thing that's connecting my Mongo database, and I have .then as a promise and .catch. That's all it, and that's so simple. Then we open it up. So if I go here, you can see that the Hello Node API is working. Let's test out some of the API codes to see if we could add products to our database. To add that, you could go to Thunder Client, an extension, and just add a new request. Just recommended to download the extension from the extensions. And once you do that, this is how Thunder Client looks like. The port is going to be localhost. So if I go to the browser and I say /blog, you already saw this one was there, but /products, the one that was related to the actual working, that's actually in here. If we look into the /API/products, this is the main API that's going to be used for all the CRUD operations. So let's just paste that in. There's 2 forward slashes. And when I do the get request, I won't get any products out because I don't have anything saved in my Mongo database. So when I do this, I get an empty list. Now, if you go here, you should have your Mongo database connected, and there should also be now a model being created. The model that we created, if we go to the models in the product model, you see that there's the product schema, and then there's this model for the product, right? So the product model was being created. So you might be asking, where is that? Well, it actually did create it here in the products. So, but there's nothing in it. So the only way to add stuff now is to use this other API. So let's go back here into the URL, copy here, and go back here and just paste this entire thing over here. And you could also use it here to just see that it's working. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna check one thing now. I'm gonna try to add something to the data set. So what I'm gonna do, the database. So we're gonna do the post request. And over here, we have to add using the body, and we could add JSON content. So you saw that the model had some of the characteristics like name, quantity, price, and image. So what we could do is add some products. So to add some products, I'll go to ChatGPT. Over here, I have some sample JSON. Now I'm just going to copy this, and I'm just going to paste it here. Now we don't need this created at and updated at. This is not required, and it's not even there. The only thing that is needed is the name. And remember this format, there's a string enclosed and the numbers don't have it. Now let's have the first product as, let's say, apples, all right? Apple. And we have quantity as 10. And then the price for an apple, like, let's so $4.99. Now this is an expensive apple. We need an image because this is fake. So what I would recommend is go to Pexels. And over here, you could see this URL. Here you could see, if you just search Apple and search it, you could see some app pictures. Let's just get this one. You could go into the right click and open image in new tab. This would give the URL for the image. You could now use this URL in your field over here. So just paste that URL there. Okay, I didn't paste it. Let me just see. All right, so if I press enter, now it does it. So you can see that this is added. Now I could safely send this post request. If I do that, you can see the 200 OK, size 282. So that means the Apple thing is there. It's saved and has a specific ID created at this time and updated at this time. So it's saved in the Mongo database. If you want to see it, you could use the get request and send it, and it returns back the apple. Let's go ahead and add more products inside. So one, we have an apple. Now let's have banana, B-A-N-A-N-A. Let's add 20, 30 bananas. Sorry about the pricing, it's just a little expensive. And let's add a banana. Let's go here, cross it out. and let's go banana. All right, so there is our banana. That looks like a good banana. So we're gonna have open in a new tab, and we're gonna copy this, and I'm gonna go here and just replace this link with this new one, and this should be sent. Perfect. Our banana is updated as well. Let's add one more item, and that would be our last one right now for now. So let's just go here and let's say orange, and okay, it's a lot of colors of orange. There's our orange, and let's open it up in new tab, and this is our orange picture. Copy it, and let's just paste it for here, and over here let's just name it to orange, ORANG, and then quantity for this would be 50. The price for an orange would be, I don't know, $2.99, and just send it. So you can see now orange is set to. Now if you want to get all of them, you can see when I did the get request, I got the apple, the banana, and the orange. Amazing. And they're all returned as a list of objects. Now I could also test the orange, and I say orange edited. So this is gonna edit my existing record. So if I do this put request, you can see that right now it's 404 not found. So what I have to do is, I believe what I have to do is I have to pass in the ID for the orange to have it updated. So first we're gonna do is we're gonna get all the products. To get the orange one is over here, and this is the ID. So get this ID, and we're gonna copy this. We're gonna go to the update route. So it's the put route, and over here, so we're gonna /ID, right? And over here, I'm gonna change to orange edited. Now you might be asking, like, how do I know that we have to add a /ID? The reason is that when we created our APIs, if you go to the the product controller in our controllers, we have the update product has the ID param that's getting from the request that I'm sending, and the ID it's being used to find it from the database, find by ID and update, and then we're using that model, and if it does update it, it just returns that as a JSON updated product. So this is what's happening, and that's how you could see it. If I now if I show you the other part where this is the route, if I go to the routes and the product route, you could see over here I'm getting this one, which is the update route, and it has the /:ID. So that's how it's being placed here, and hopefully now it's going to work. So let me just do this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have the /ID for the orange, and we're having orange edited. Send it, and you can see orange is edited. If I get all of them, and now you can see I get only the ID of the orange. So that's I have to make sure that I only get all. So if I do that, apple, banana, and orange edited. Perfect. Let's just delete the last one, and that is also passed using the ID. So this is the ID, and send it. So now this is deleted. If I go and check it out again, delete this and go to get all, you can see now only apple, banana are there. So orange is gone. Now we're just gonna have the orange back because we need to do the next thing. So it's just send, get, we're gonna post, and we're gonna put, and this orange is added, and then we're gonna get here, and you can see it over here. Then you could also call this in your browser. I can show you that if I do this and I say this, you can see I got the ID for the apple, the banana, and the orange. So amazing. Let's just delete all of these extra things, and now we can move on to the next part. The next part is now we have to create our front end, since our back end is fully ready and everything seems to work really fine. So we have to create our front end. So we're going to go and close all of this stuff out. You can see that the MongoDB is running, so we don't really care. We'll just focus on the client side now. Go to the client folder, and over here what you're going to do is you're going to basically download something. So what we're going to do is we're going to download and install something before we can move forward. So we're going to go to Vite.js, Vite.js.dev, and over here we could say next generation front-end tooling, get ready for a development environment that can finally catch up with you. So get started. Over here you could see that there is the starter guide, And what we want to do is we want to start with, we just want to have it installed. So this is the way to install it. So let's just copy this and let's go here to our project here. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste it. Okay, so I want CLS. Okay. Okay, npm create v at latest. If you do this, it asks you, do you need to install the following package? And I'd say yes, right? And after that, it says project name. Let's say React CRUD hyphen. And then it says select a framework. We'll use React. And it says select a variant. Let's use JavaScript. And now it says it's done. And all we got to do now is we got to go inside here and we got to do cd react crud npm install, and we have npm run dev. So cd react crud, let's just follow these steps, and then we have npm install to install all the dependencies. And you could see right now there's a folder, and inside there's a couple of things. This is closed, and these are all the things that were installed. If I do npm install, it's gonna install that node modules folder as well. So source. So this is source, and you can see assets here and the app.csс. Oh, there you go. Node modules is there. It's going to take some time, but before that, everything should be done. And then we have to just finally do npm run dev. So npm run and dev. If we do this, you can see that Vite is installed and it's on. So we have Vite plus React done. And then now we have the front end done, and we can move on to the next step. So one other thing is, let's open it up and view it in our file explorer. Reveal in file explorer, and you could see that the client side, the client, and there's a server and the client. The server is all completed, right? We only need the client. So then the client, we have React CRUD, and inside here we have all these files. To make it a little more simpler, we could just have this React CRUD over here inside of the client, right? I don't want additional folders in here. So for that purpose, like how we did before, I could have all of that, first deleted. So let's just have, this exited, and I'm gonna make sure that we could do something like that. So I'm gonna cross this out, and I'm gonna go here. You can see that this is happening. Let's go here. And let's go in the server. Server is done. Client. I'm keep going in the server. Client. And over here, let's cut this and paste it here. So we have React CRUD. Delete this client folder as nothing. This is the new client folder. So we're just going to rename it. You could do function F2. And over here, you could say client. And there you go. And let's just open it up. CMD. Code dot. And there you go, we have the client. And you could see we could just CLS, npm run, cd client, and over here cd server. Okay, so this is our client. What we're gonna do now is we have all of the stuff left, stuff ready. Now all we gotta do is install the Tailwind CSS in our React application. This is our React application. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to tailwindcss.com, and over here we have get started, and you can see over here we have install Tailwind CSS. But what we're going to do is we're going to install it using Vite. So framework guides, and over here you could see that there is going to be for Vite, and over here, so it was install Tailwind CSS with Vite. Now you can see over here, fast and modern development server and build tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this one, npm install -d Tailwind CSS post CSS auto prefixer. So we could go here and we could just paste that in here. So I'm going to make sure that is pasted. I don't know why this is not working. So this one, npm install -d Tailwind CSS post CSS auto prefixer. This is going to install Tailwind for us. Right now we don't have anything here, but we're going to have the Tailwind config or something. Let's see. Yep, vite.config.js is added. So what we could do is you could see, I don't believe this is that because of that, but you can see now we have one step done. The next step is to move on. to the next part, which is this one. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back here and we're going to paste this. npx tailwind CSS init-p. So this is going to initialize. And now we have some of the additional things. So post CSS, so you can see config.js, tailwind config, there's the thing that we were looking for. And you know, things are building up. Now let's move on to the next third part, configure your template paths. So if you go to the tailwind.config.js, you have to change the content to this thing. Okay, so let's just copy this content and go to the content here. You can see this is empty, and I'm just going to paste the thing that was there. So paste it, and you can see right now, if I make this a little down, you have the type import tailwind config and export default, and we have content, and we also have theme, and we also have plugins. So that step is done as well. Let's move on to the next step, which is add the tailwind directives to your CSS. You have to go to the index.css and add the following tailwind components. All right, so let's go to the tailwind. It's in the source, and then you have to go to the index.css. You're going to have to remove all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of this stuff from the index.css and add only these components in here. So add tailwind base, add tailwind components, and add tailwind utilities. Go back here and let's start your build process. That's all we got to do. Let's go to the React application and say npm run dev. So if I go here, right now you can see things are changing up. But now what we have to do is we have to go to the one thing I want to do is, you know, this app.css is there. Let's just delete this entire thing. So remove it. And we also have one other thing, which is App.jsx. Over here, you can see that there's a lot of things going on. And that's why, you know, the logos and the Vite things were appearing over here. If we remove all of this like that, you'll see that there's nothing in here. Or let's refresh this and you'll see there's blank. All right. So let's go back to that code over here and start using Tailwind in your project. You could just use this copy and this entire thing could be inside there. So let's just add this. And this should, you know, populate and say hello world. So let's go here and you can see hello world with you know, underlines, and this is how you could say that Tailwind is also configured. If you go and say text XL, font bold, and underline, and these are Tailwind properties. All right, so this step is done. This is the index.jsx, and the main.jsx is that file which uses this stuff. So index.css is the Tailwind components, app.jsx is that. And you can see over here we have this you know, render, and then it's getting this app. So this is the way, you know, React applications work. And you know, Tailwind is configured. Let's now implement the React Router DOM, and the React Router DOM is for the navigation purpose, for, you know, going from one page to another. So if I do npm I and I say React Router and then -dom, Don, I did it wrong. Yep, it was gonna give us an error. So let's just go to React Router, and then we have DOM. This is the page, and this is the package. So you could install it using this React Router DOM. Go here, and oops. So copy this. What's happening? Copy to clipboard, yeah. React Router DOM and enter it. So that's done. It's pretty lightweight. Now where we're gonna go is to the main.jsx, and we're gonna have to add the following. So wait on, if you go to React Router DOM, it says the React Router DOM package contains bindings for using React Router in web applications. Please use the getting started guide for more information on how to get started with React Router. So you know, getting started guide is over here. So you can see over here, this is a tutorial. But I'm going to this page, which is, you know, the homepage that we saw in the Google search. What's new in 6.4? Picking a router. You can see browser router, which is over here. And over here, this is the browser router that we need to add. So if we go to the, over here, we have to add import browser router from React Router DOM, and then we have to add those browser router inside of our render function. So if we go here, we have to import this. Let's just add this, import browser router from, and then inside of this app, you can see that there's the app, but what we have to do is we're gonna have to add the browser router here. So let's just have browser router, close, and we're gonna bring this one inside, and this is how it's done, right? So this is that part. But now what we have to do is we have to go to app.jsx file, which is over here, and you could see over here that we'll have to go to the base name, configure your application to run underneath a specific base name in the URL. So what we have to do here now is to add the following URL. So yeah, so let's just go back here, and in here we also have to okay, now it's going to be a route and the other thing. I'm just finding it. I don't know where. Picking a route, browser router, hash router, browser router. This is that. Routes. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing I was looking for, man. So inside this routes, and then there's this route path. So we were in the React Router DOM, and we wanted to, install it, and we also had to go to the routers, and you can see the browser components over here. We have browser router, and we installed an import browser router from React Router DOM, and we put this inside, and then we also put this browser router inside, and the rest of your code goes here. If I go and show you how this actually looks like, if we go here into the main.jsx, we imported browser router from React Router DOM, and then over here we had browser router, and inside we had the app inside here. The app is coming from the app.jsx, and this is our root, right? So what we have here in the app.jsx is routes and route from React Router DOM, and then we have this routes, and then all of the routes that you need, all the routes that you need, like slash create page slash edit page slash view page or whatever. All those are called routes, and they're gonna be inside these tags. So if you go back to this base name over here, configure your application to run underneath a specific base name in the URL. Now you can see over here, function app return browser router base names, you could app, and then we have routes. This is the thing that we're looking into, is that we have routes, and inside there's going to be route and path, and then to get all of that. Let's go back here and let's just start that out. So to get first is the index homepage, right? So we call it the index, and then we could have that as the element over here, element, and then element is basically assigned something. Now this is going to be assigned a page, homepage. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. So over here you could see in my client folder I have the source folder, and inside I have assets, and app.jsx has a problem, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create another folder inside source, and that's going to be called pages. All right, so let's just have that as pages, and inside this pages we'll have a file which is going to be called HomePage.jsx. Now you could have wrap arrow functional component, and now over here homepage, and we also have homepage over here, right? So what we can do is so simple. Say this is the homepage. All right, similar to this, let's create more pages. One is going to be called the create page to create a new product, so page.jsx, and then you could just similarly do wrap C, and then just add this as create page. It has and then it already has it. So this is a create page. This is the create page. This is the, and then the last one we could do right now, as of for now, is EditPage.jsx, and then you could have wrap C again, and then you could have edit page, and you could say this is the edit page like so. If I save all of this, and now we go to the app.jsx file over here, all I gotta do is I have to type in homepage component, and then it's gonna import it for me, homepage from .slashes. All right, so this is, I have to close this over here. There's a self-closing tag like this, and once you do this, now this is basically added, and there's no problem. Right now there's nothing running, so I'm gonna have to navigate to my my client folders, cd, now what's that called, client. and I'm in the client. Over here is normally the server CD server, right? So you could have just the server running as of for now. It doesn't really matter because we're not looking into the server, but it's gonna run because it already works. You can see connected to MongoDB Node API app is running on port 3000. But let's have the server running as well. So we could have npm run dev again. I mean, not not the server, but the client. And you can see over here we are running on local host port 5173. Now that we have all of this, if I go to the main page, you'll see that the text, this is a home page will appear now. So now you can see that I went to the base URL, which is the slash, and this is the home page. This is the index page. Now let's add the other routes, and that's also a very simple. You could have just the route tag, and inside here just add the closing one, but you're just gonna specify the path here. Now what are you gonna say? Create /create. What are you gonna do for that? You could add in the element and just add the element. So suppose you want the create page and just self close it like so, like that, and that's it. Now you'll have that, and let me add one more path, and that should be edit, and it's going to be called the edit page component. So right now create page and edit page are not imported, so there's going to be a problem here. So I don't know, let's see. Not importing it. It should be like alt space or something. No, yeah, there you go. And over here too, alt space. Yeah, so alt space does allow you to automatically import it. So we have edit page and create page being imported, and they're being run over here. So, okay, so one other problem is that it created 2 letters. I don't know why. And over here too, just fix that up, and now they're all active, and you could also see the entire working. If you go /create, let's go to /create, and you can see this is a create page, and if I go to edit, you can see this is the edit page. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now we're done with this. Now let's go and set up our navbar. To add our navbar, how are we going to do this? We're going to go to the main app.jsx file, and over here we're going to open up a navbar component in here. So right after the return from the round brackets, you're going to have the tag nav. So let's have nav, and then we have so let me see one thing. So I'm gonna go and see how this is done. Essentially, it's all in the routes, right? So what I could actually do right now here is add a div. So div like this, and this could cross out from here. And let's have all of that and paste it right here. Okay. So now we have an extra div on top, just a layer, and inside here we could add in our nav tag. So this is going to be our navigation, right? The navbar. So how it's going to happen is that let's add some Tailwind classes, since we already imported Tailwind in our project. So this is the default BG, which means background -gray, GRAY, and then we have -800. So background 800, that's it. Save it. Inside the nav, let's add a div container. So div class name, and this is container CSS, Tailwind CSS MX auto allows it to be centered, and p-2. This is all responsive, and it's going to look amazing. Inside it, we have to have our link tag, and it has to go to. Now, normally what you would see in a classic HTML is a hyperlink reference, and then href hyperlink reference, and inside here we have a slash, and we'll have the link to anywhere we want to go. Suppose if I have my head tag over here, h2, and my head tag has the class name set to text -white, another Tailwind text -2XL, which is large, and then we have font -bold. And what should that text be called? Well, it should be called React CRUD app. Okay, so now in the React, in React, instead of this anchor tag, what you normally use is the link tag. And it's almost the similar thing. All we got to do is replace the A's with the link, and over here will be just 2. And you just need to import it from React. So React router DOM. So just have it like that. Okay, so now let's see. It should be running. And you can see over here, we have create CRUD, React CRUD app. Okay. And if I go to, this is right now currently in the edit page. If I click on it, it should take us to the home page. Amazing. So that's how it's going to be done. That's perfect. So now that we have all of this, auto P2 and max auto gray, we have our navbar set as well. Let's go to the next step. And the next step is going to be allowing us to view all of our products, right? What we have in our backend, we want to view all of those products on our front end. How do we do that? So if I see over here, we have this homepage, and we want this homepage to have the products that we had in our backend. To show you what's in the backend right now, I could go here and I could go to server, and I could also go and open up my Thunder client. So we could just say open. No, let me just have this, and then open in new tab. So open in new tab, and you can see over here, this is the API/products. Let's see if it works right now. So send, and you can see it's working. We have what we have here. Let's just make this a little smaller so that you can see it easily. Okay, so what we have here is apples, we have banana, and we have orange. We want to show all of this in our front end. This is right now in the back end. So to do this, we'll have to go to the HomePage.jsx file. So I'm gonna go there. So I'm gonna go into the HomePage.jsx file, and over here we're gonna have to try to get it. To get it, first of all, what we could do is we could create a variable inside of it. So in the home page, right here is equal to arrow function, and what we could do is we could have some state variables. The first one is the product. So I would say products, or set products, and I could say is equal to use state, and it's initially set to an empty list. The reason why I'm setting this to an empty list is that if you look in the backend, the products, wait a minute, did I just close the backend again? Open a new tab. Okay, if you look at this, they're actually coming in a list like that. You see that? And then the closing list over there, and then they're inside there's those object. But that's how we're gonna save the the data. So in this variable, which is products, right? Other variable that I want is or state I want is loading state. So it's gonna tell me whether we have to load something from the backend or not. So set is loading, and we can have this use state set to false. Okay, currently we're not loading, but when we want to load, because whenever we visit the page, it has to load, right? And that we could use effect for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a function here. The function will be used to get products. So we could say const get products, and we could have this arrow function like so. Inside this products, we're gonna have a try and catch block, and console.log error, if it doesn't exist. But in the try, what we want to do is we want to get the data. Okay, before all of that, I want to add, import the use states from React. So what we could say is go over here, because it's going to give us an error no time. So import use effect and use state, because I'm going to use effect right now as well. And then we have use state, and then we have from, and then we have React, right? So we have that. The use states are working right now. We have this get products function as well, but the use effect what it would do is that it would call this function whenever you load it. But how do we call it actually? How do we make it? So I'm gonna use Axios for this. And what we could do is we could have those response from the server that comes out. So you could say response is equal to, you could have the await Axios dot get, and you put your URL in here, the backend URL. So this URL, you paste inside here. And then what you do is you essentially try to get the data. Now it says over here, right? I read, and what's the reason is that we have to make an async over here just for that purpose. And that red, underline should be gone. After that, when we get our response, that's going to be this stuff, what you saw, this stuff. So to get this stuff, what you can do is response.data. Let's just console.log it first. Console.log response.data. And we could, just show it right now and see if this actually works. So over here, what we're going to do is we're going to have the use effect. So use effect, and this is going to happen whenever, it's being called. So over here, this is how it looks like. There's a round bracket, and then there's squiggly brackets in here, and then we have a comma, and then a list here, semicolon. Over here, we could have, the get products function called like that. And in here, we have pretty much that's it. We have get products, and we have to call this. So one more thing is that you have to check whether your backend had the correct port allowed to it, because there's going to be Axios issues. Let's see. So there could be Axios issues. CLS and npm run dev. Okay, so now look, you see 5173, and right now if I go to console inspect, I don't see any products, but in the comment it says reference error, Axios is not defined. All right, so the first thing is Axios is not defined. We didn't even import Axios, so we gotta have to import Axios. All right, so import Axios is so simple. All you gotta do is import Axios from Axios, like so. Okay, so that is done. Now you can see there's another issue, and it says import Axios from Axios. And then we have import React from React. Format something. I don't know what kind of issue this is, but okay, I'm just gonna turn it off and restart it. Let's see. Npm run dev. Okay, so now we have this problem. Fail to resolve import Axios from. Oh, does this file exist? And the reason for this is that we might not have it installed at all. So we have to npm, install Axios like that. And how do you, if you install this, it's going to be in the package.json. After that, you could missed it. I reinstalled it for no reason. You could run dev, and now you can see this problem is gone. But if you go to the console, you still have some problems. Now the problem is access to XML HTTP request at this localhost from origin 5173 has been blocked by course policy. The access control allow origin header has a value that is not equal to the supplied origin. All right. This is the thing I was talking about. This is our backend port. Okay. And no, this is not our backend. So this is our front end port 5173, right? This is 127.0.0.1 actually means localhost, what says over here, just in words. So what we need is to give it permission. So what we could do is we could copy this, and I could go to the backend. Remember, initially then we had our backend folder, which is right here, and then inside of this we had the .env, and over here 5173. You see this? All we got to do is paste this in again, like that. Flash it. And just turn this port off. Okay, turn the backend off and reinstall the run the backend npm run dev. Okay, go here now, inspect, console log. Okay, now refresh this. Okay, it's gonna be a homepage 200. Okay, get. Hmm. Control L. I mean, try to, Control L just to clear the console and then refresh. Okay, it has the same Axios error message, network error, Axios error code, error network request, XML HTTP request. So let's just go back here and let's just try to fix this up. So, okay, okay. Let's just go back to the homepage, homepage.jsx, and we had this set loading and is loading. I mean, let's have that use state here as well. So set is loading, and we could whenever we're trying to call it, we could say true, and then we could have it false over here. Set is loading, false. Whenever you're done calling it, right? That's pretty much it. Get products, and this is the home page. I mean, it shouldn't display anything, but it should only display the things in our. I mean, let's see. Oh man, I'm trying to click on this. It only should display it on the, the console. I'm checking here again. Okay, over here it's all easy. But there's some kind of issue, some kind of small issue that I'm missing to fix. So use effect Axios product from product component, link, homepage, get products, try catch, response log, response.data, response. Okay, let's say set products over here, set products, and then we put the response.data here as well. Am I even getting a good response? Not even sure. Retry one more time. Okay. So 127.05173. I don't know what's bugging me. But I think it's just maybe something over here is just bugging. Five one seven three. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Why is it copy? Why is it 5 over there? Like that. Let me save that again. Turn it off. Let me turn off both of the things again. Five one seven three. So we have some issue again with the course policy. The access allow the value that is not equal to the supplied origin. What is the supplied origin? Tell me that. Oh, okay. Should we just have a localhost instead? Just copy this. Let's see. Maybe just the wording. Let's just see that if that works. Hmm. from origin has been blocked by course. The value. Maybe now there's a slash. Not even sure what's the problem. And it was the slash issue. Wow. The wording and the slash. And how we could get our data in our apple, banana, and orange in our console screen. Wow, that is so weird. So we have http://localhost 2// localhost : and port 5173. No slashes there. And then it was working, and then we fetched it. Wow. So we recall that we had the navbar set up, and we have the home page, and you could see if I go to inspect and console, you could see now I'm actually getting the data from my database. And I was having a hard time first in the beginning, but the fix was I actually had to make sure the port, which is the front end port, you could see over here 5173, and it's localhost, has to exactly match the backend folder's file, which is over here. And it's called .env. Over here we have front end, and we make sure we have http:// port 5173 without a slash, and then it's going to work. The next step is now we have to go to the client folder, and inside of here we have to make sure that not only it displays it on the console, but we want it to have it display over here in the home. So how do we display the product? So let's just go here, and let's just make this a little bigger. Zoom out it, and then over here we have, this is the home page. What I could do is I actually could change this home page to the product. So the actual thing is that we're getting the product through this products state, and we could set the products, and we're adding it there. So we could just add it here. So I'm just gonna remove this and zoom this in more. I think that's too much. Okay. So over here we're gonna have the products. So we say products. All right. If the products exists, so what you have to do is something like, but it's not like products is actually the loading part. We're gonna first start with the loading, and before that I have to actually, let me just add a div. So I'm gonna have a div, and that class name should be margin top 5. And over here we're gonna have the is loading state. All right, so we're gonna make sure if it's is loading, if that's true, right, then we're gonna say just put some text called loading ... Okay, else we have something else. The else part, we could have like a JSX fragment or something. So here what we could add is the loading state. So essentially we can't just place it like this, we have to put it in strings. So it's like loading text display, else we put something else over here. So inside of here, we're not gonna it's once it's loaded, we put another condition, and we have to check if the products products.length is greater than 0, means that there are products. If that is true, what you want to do is you want to map the products, and if not, you want to say a text that says there are no products or something like that. All right, so just a second, we have to add fragment here, and let me just add a semicolon here, and this is the the entire fragment closed from here, but we have to add the map here. So let me just cross this out and make sure you're focusing on this part. Okay, so over here we got a map, and we have products.length. Now we want to map through the product. So what we could do is you could actually add a div in here. So you don't need to have a string like I did over there, but you could just place this stuff inside of a div. So div, and then close the div over here after the products. I know the formatting is not good, but we could fix this later on. Just make sure that everything is done and saved. Okay, now over here, what you could do is you could map the products. So we could essentially have this and say product products dot map. So this is the condition if the products are more than one. We have products dot map, and inside of it we have the product, which is single. You could call it anything you want, and the index. And then there's the arrow function. So yeah, product and index, and then there's an arrow function, and in here we essentially could return the product. So we could just say return and div in here. So we have a return statement, and in here we're gonna add the product one by one like this. So product dot name. So once I do that, I'll just only have to add one last thing, and that is key equal to index, or not like that, but like this, index. And let's just see how this imitates. So right now we have some problems. Let me restart the server. Okay, it looks like it works. Let's just go back here. And you could see that there's a semicolon for no reason. But apple, banana, and orange do exist, which is pretty strange. Let me refresh it. And this semicolon is coming for no reason. Perhaps I added that somewhere where I'm not supposed to. Maybe these. Okay, this one. And there was one more semicolon I added. Yeah, over here. So save that. Now you can see apple, banana, and orange are appearing over here. You could actually refresh it, and then you can see these are coming straight from the database, remember? Now, one last thing that we could do is we could add a class name here. So products.map, product and index, return this round brackets, and inside we have div key. Before the key, which is index, that's very important. But you could have a class name, and the class name could be set to Tailwind BG background red and 550. Save. Now it just adds a little styling. There you go. Background is a little bit reddish, but you can see now this is actually appearing. Very nice. But the thing is, our code will get more and more complicated if we add more and more logic into this. It's a better practice to have the product as a single component. So each product could be a single component, and that's what we're gonna just do right now. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my folder directory here, and I'm gonna go to the client folder, inside where I'm gonna go to source, and I'm gonna go inside over here. You can see that there's nothing called components, so I'm gonna create a new folder, and that's gonna be called components. And inside the components folder, I'm gonna create a file called Product.jsx. So Product.jsx. You can use the normal RAFC over here, and over here you could just simply say product. All right, and if you want to use it here, you can just have this replaced. So the thing is, you don't need the map anymore. The logic of map doesn't really need, I mean you need, so actually you need the products.map, but inside this return You don't need this div, okay? This entire div you don't need. All you could do is you could use product like this, and it's gonna import it for you. On the top, you could see dot /components and product. If you go and view this right now, you can see product, which is absolutely correct. But what we have to do now is each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Of course, this is the warning that it gives you. And a recommended practice here is to give the key, I think it's like that. So the key you have to give is equal to the index, like so. That's not going to give you the problem here anymore. So refresh. No more errors. And you can see the products, but we want the name of the product. So that name is also very easy to get. You could add the name as, you could add it as some kind of prop that you're passing. So product is, passing the product. You could see from here like that. Now we only have to go to the component and we have to accept that product component. So you can see product is equal to the product that's being passed here. And that contains all of the attributes. If you look into the database, remember that we had all of that stuff. Okay. So if I want to go to the product, you can see that the key is equal to the index and the product is equal to the product here. We go to the product here and we accept that as a prompt, a prop here. So it's going to be called product like this. And over here we could just call it as the name. So here we're going to say product dot name. If I do this, I'm gonna get apple, banana, and orange again. Amazing job. Now we could easily, add the other things with it. So then we'll have to add the proper styling for this. Okay. So if I go here in the div product name, we have we could just actually remove the product name for now. And make this as a class name to essential some CSS classes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna essentially go here and say class name BG white rounded shadow large. We have overflow hidden. Inside of it, we could have image tag src product dot image, and this is gonna be the image of the thing. So right now you'll see it. Just a second. Class name. Make it consistent with double quotes. Width is full. These are all Tailwind classes. Height is 28. Object cover. Close this. Right now you want to see the images. You'll see them. You can see apple, I don't know, banana and orange. Amazing. I mean, from the database. Now what we could do is we could add a div in here, and that div would have a class name of padding of x-axis of 4, padding of top as 2, and padding bottom as 4. And inside of here, you're gonna have h2. And here we could have class name. And we have text, font, semi-bold. And we have product name. And we have text small. So you could say over here just font semi-bold for the name. But you could say text-sm. Same goes for here. You could just say text-sm. Right now you got the name. You know that you need the quantity. So that's all saved in the database. These are all the fields. Quantity. And the last one is quantity. And the last one is I think it was price. Okay, that's the most important thing in a product. And now if we look into this, we get the Apple. Okay, now we have some kind of problems here as well. Failed to reload product. This could be due to syntax errors or importing non-existing modules. And you could see over here that just error ran away, but you could see the products are appearing, but it's not really nice. But the values and everything is correct. So let's just fix this stuff out. So I'm gonna actually put this in a grid format. I'll go to the home page, and inside of here you can see that there's this margin top 5. Inside of here you would just add more classes. So what you would do is you would add more Tailwind classes, and the first one would be GRID grid. Next would be grid column GRID. So grid calls would be just 2, right? Grid calls would be 2, but for large devices LG, let me just space that out. But for large devices LG, the grid calls would be 4. Then normally on small devices it would be 2 columns. On large devices it would have 4 columns. So LG grid calls 4, and we'll have gap between each column as 4. Save. If you can see over here, if I zoomed in over here 300, but I'm going back, you can see how nice it looks. So that looks pretty nice. I believe it's good. The only thing that's left, it's like it needs a little padding or some margin from the left side, right? So for that, it's also very easy. What you could do is you could go to the Product.jsx file, and you could add the margin for doing that. So what we could do is go to the App.jsx, see these routes which are over here. You could add a div in here, div, and you can bring all these routes inside. So like that. Now this div will have a special special class, Tailwind class, that's going to allow us to have all of it in-centered. So if I go to app.jsx and see myself, it's actually class name. And we could have container, which is gonna center it. MX auto will center it, and padding 2, p-2. And we have full, height of full. If I do this, you'd see now it's much better. And it's getting better and better. Now let's add the 2 buttons that we need on the bottom. Go to the product page, and inside of the products, it will have the button for us. So after this div and after this div, which is for the name and everything, we could have something in here. Okay, let me just go back here. So essentially, you would go out of it, but it's normally inside of it. This this actual div. So the class name for this, is margin top 2, and we have flex, and we have gap 4. And in here we have link to, and then we have is equal to backticks slash edit slash $edit, and then we have, for now we're just going to keep it to edit, and the remaining CSS classes will add, and of course we need the link tag imported as well. So what happens here is that we have, just for now it's just going slash edit, it doesn't exist. We'll create a class name inline block with full text center shadow MD, text small, background gray 700, text white, rounded small, padding X4, padding Y1, font bold, hover BG gray 600, hover cursor pointer, and it's called edit. So this is what we had to add, and the similar thing goes for the other one, which is the delete one. So we could just copy this and just have it copied here, and we could just call this as delete for now. We're just going to change it later on, and wherever it's gray, we could change it to red, so like that. And I think it's over here somewhere as well. So let me just see. Yeah. And I'm going to change the text too. So over here, the text should be red as well. All the CSS classes is going to do wonders for us. You're going to just see right now. So delete, save, and let me show you. Okay. So what we have is an issue. Of course, I think the link is not important. So, yep. To import this, you could just have click. So you could say rack router DOM. So it's actually importing it just like that. This K should be fixed. Make sure the server is running. A lot of things going on here, but yeah, it's running now. And there you go. We have edit button and delete button. Click on edit. This is the edit page, and it's working for the edit page. Go back to the main page like that. Delete. We'll go to the delete page. And so far, I guess it's working really well. All we could do now is like add a background color to this, just to make it a little more nicer. To add a background color, it's all similar, easy and good. So what we could do is we could go to the client folder, and inside here, there's got to be an index.css folder. So source and index.css file. For this file, you have these three Tailwind, add Tailwind. So what you want to do is you want to add your own class over here. I mean, not class, but your own property here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say add layer, base, and then we have body, and we have add apply. We just want a grayish background, so we want BG slate 400, and pretty much that's it. Save it, check it out. It's a grayish background, looks very nice, very neat, and what you could do now is when you want to edit, you could edit it. If you want to delete it, you could delete it. Let's add a a text on the top that allows us to edit. So over here, what is this called? This is the home page. And if you go to the home page, on the top we have this portion which allows us to load and everything. So we could have a button to create a product as well. So what you could do now is on top where there's no conditioning, you could have a text div in here, and you could have a link tag. So basically a link to equal to / create page, and that does exist. And inside here you can say create product. Okay, to see this in action, of course we don't have the link tag imported here, so just click on that. Make sure you're holding Alt and space, and then you could just press enter. I don't know why it adds another K, but it's gonna import it. And then you could have the create a product, click on it, and this is the create page. Go back. So your product is there. Now you could just add some good good styling to it, just to make it look good. So we have to go to the HomePage.jsx, and here is some of the styling that is required. Tailwind classes, and I'm just going to read them over. So the first one is inline block, and then the second is margin top 4, then the shadow MD, and then we have a background blue 700, text white, rounded small, padding of x-axis 4, padding of y-axis is 2, font bold, hover BG blue 600, and the last one was hover cursor pointer. Now you can see over here, hover cursor pointer is amazing. When I it looks so nice, and when I hover over it, you can see the cursor is changing. And I go to the create page, page. Now over here we could just create a separate page to have all of it, and we do have that page. We just need to modify it a bit. So if I go to the create page over here, you can see this is just sample create page, but you could add some CSS styling to it. So you could go and add the following div. So what I would do is recommend is delete this and have a class name. So yeah, so what happens is that we don't need this, and it's class name max. Okay, so we have class name max with large background white. shadow large, margin X auto centering, padding sub 7, rounded, and margin top of 6. Inside of it, you could add a h2 tag, and it would be called create a product. Okay, so it's just going to be a button, but we're going to have some class names set to the Tailwind thing as well. So what the h2 as well. So we're going to have class name, font semi bold, text 2XL, large text, margin bottom of 4, block, and text center. To see this in action, you can see how awesome that looks. This is nice looking create a product. Okay, so this is our React CRUD application. Remember, we created this homepage, and it has products listing, and we also have this edit button and delete button, and we could create a product. And over here in the create product, there's just create a product card. We didn't do anything much, but you know, we're getting data from the API from here. You can see that it's being populated, but now we have to do a little bit more and just improve it up. Okay, so let's just go back to the create a product, and we want to add a product section so we could add products within our front end instead of having to add it from our back end. Because if I /API/products, these are our products, and there are a total of 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now we want to add more, but we want to add it from the front end. So let's go and continue from here. Let's cross this out and let's move forward. So the third thing that we need here is we have a h2 tag, right? The h2 tag is okay, which allows us to see what we want to do. But after the h2 tag, we actually need a form tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to type here form, and this is the form tag, finished. Inside of the form tag, we'll have a div. So we'll have div, and the div actually has a class name, and it will be space hyphen y hyphen 2, again Tailwind CSS being applied. And inside of the div, we have another div, and this div will contain the label. So it will contain the name, name of the product, as well as the input tag. So the input tag will be used to get the input. So input, and we could have the type as text, the value as nothing right now, so blank, empty. So after that, we have class name, and this is a bunch of Tailwind CSS classes. So I'm going to grab them here, and I'm going to tell you what they are one by one. So let me just copy that and paste it here. So it says width is full, block, border. So then block, then it's border, then it's P padding 3, then it's text gray 600, then it's rounded, then it's focus outline none. So focus is outline none, and then focus is shadow outline, and focus is border blue 200, and then we have placeholder gray, which is 400. Placeholder gray 400, and then let's add a placeholder attribute as well, and this will just have enter name. Okay, after when we do this, let's have a self-closing tag because we didn't close the input tag, and this is our name input field. So let's go back here, and you can see if I click on the name, I'm not able to enter anything, but you could see that the name input field has this border. When I click on it, you get a light shade of border blue. Now the same thing goes for the other tags. So let's just quickly copy this. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do Alt Shift and down to have a duplicate, and then one more, and then one more. Okay, so the next one will be name. After that will be the quantity. So quantity, we could change from text to number, and we could change the end, which is enter quantity here, QUANTITY. Same goes for the next one, which is enter price. So we could change this to a price, and the price would be also a number. So I would have number here, and you could have the price here. So enter price, which is over here, and enter price. After that, we have the next one, which is the image URL of the product. So image URL, and change this to something which is text, and I think it's fine. Now we have to go and just enter image URL here. So enter image, and then we have URL, save, and then we go down, and that's pretty much it. So let's just go and see our browser, and you can see we have name, quantity, price, image URL. It looks really nice, but we are missing a button. So let's go and add a submit button here. So after the div, let's add another div in here inside of it, and this one will be having the button. So the button tag, and the button tag's class name would be this. So we have class name block. Okay, this is a really nice block, and then we have width is full, and then we have margin top 6, we have background blue 700, we have text white, we have rounded small, we have padding of X is 4, padding of Y is 2, and then we have font bold, and then we have hover background blue 600. So when we hover it, the background will change to blue. Then we have hover cursor pointer will change to a pointer cursor, my mouse. And inside of here, we could type in the text, which is called save. Okay, so now let's see it. Over here, it looks pretty nice. You can see when you hover over it, the color of it turns into a lightish bluish color. And rest everything else looks really nice. It looks like a nice form. Right now, there's just a question when I clicked on it. Other than that, it's a really nice form. And let's have it now functioning. So all of that is done. So we want to actually get the states of each variable, right? So we have to create like 4 different states to have all these variables populated. So name, quantity, price, and image URL. To do that, we could actually add use states to this. So let's go on top over here, and in here, let's add the use states. So first is const name, and then we have set name, and then that equal to a use state, and we're going to just leave it as empty string for now. Similar to that, we have 1, 2, and 3 like that, and we could have name, and then we have quantity, QUANTITY, and then we have set quantity, which is QUANTITY, and then we have the price, which is PRICE, and then we have set price, which is capital PRICE, and then we have the last one, which is image URL. So we could say image, and then we have set image over here, image. Okay, so now all of this is done. Now what we could do is we could just populate them one by one. So in the form, we have the value, and we could just change this from the empty to the price, to the name, like that. And we actually need one more thing so that it's being changed properly, because we can't add any text to the input field. So right now there is this problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to have on. Okay, so one thing that's existing here is that we don't have use state important. So we could have from React, we could just have this in round brackets, and we could say use state. Okay, and this should remove that error. And now we can't still type in here. So to have something written, we could just add the following. So we could say on change, and inside the on change function, we have the event, and the event has set name. So set name, and then we could have e.target.value. And if I do this, this will allow me to change my text inside of my input field. So let's see. Now I could add text inside of here. Similarly, we have to do the same thing for all of our other input fields. So I'm just going to copy this this value thing. So let's copy all of this thing, e.target.value, copy, and just bring it here and paste it right next to this. Remove this and paste that. This would change from name to quantity. So Quantity. No, it's not spelled right. So let me Quantity, quantity, and we have e.target dot, so set quantity, Quantity. Then we have the same thing goes for over here. So now it's not quantity, but now it's price. So value price, and then we on change e set price, and then we have that. Similarly to that, we have image URL. So we have image URL. So we could say image, and we have set image, and we could essentially have all of this saved. So all these use states are now being populated. You could add numbers, you could add number here, you could add the image URL over here, you could add the name over here, but we want to actually save it. When I click on save, I want to have some action for this, right? So to have the action, you actually need to do the following. Let's go on the top of the form. We want all of these, data that's being stored on the actually being stored on use states. We want to have them saved in our backend API. So to do that, we could actually have the form tag have the following: on submit property set to a function. So we have on submit property set to a function which will say save product, and we'll have to define this function, and this function will be responsible for saving the product in our backend API. So before that, my laptop is out of charge. Let me just charge this quickly. I have to charge the laptop. Laptop's out of battery, and I just plugged it in. So now let's go up on the top, and we have to create this function that will allow us to save the product. So let's go. You can see over here we have this use states, and after this, let's create the function. So we'll say const save product, and that is equal to save product is equal to a round bracket, and then we'll have arrow function inside of this save product. We could have the following. We actually want to prevent the default preload, so we could have e.prevent default, so like that. Let's just add an event here so that it doesn't reload, and then you could have an alert and say hello, and then you just suppose if you want to add your name, so you could just say name. This would be the name of the product, and you'll see like when I click on it, it will populate it. Right now it's this, and when I say this, it says hello, and then obviously there's something which needs to be spaced. So when we space it up, you'll see that that it will exist in that spacing. So right now, let me just have this, and you could see right now it's like that. You could see hello EFG, whatever it is, right? But we don't want that, and we actually want to do something. So let's remove this alert, and let's have a condition that says if the name is triple equal to an empty string, if the quantity is triple equal to an empty string, if the price is triple equal to an empty string, and if the image, I mean, I'm using OR operator, so it doesn't mean like all have to be at the same time, but if any one of them at any one time is empty, so is triple equal to an empty string, if any of these are empty, what the message for the top portion would be an alert, and you'll say please fill out all of the input fields completely. Okay, and that's our alert, and we'll just have at return something like that. Okay, so now that alert is there. It would work because if I for now have nothing, right, try to save it, I'm saying please fill out all the input fields completely. I'll have to enter 1, 2, and then have something here, and then it's not gonna make me have that when save. And now I'm saving it, but that alert is not popping up. Similar to that, we have now we have to actually see one other thing. The thing is that we have to try to save this, right? So we'll have to use a try and catch block. And inside the try and catch block, the first thing that we'll try is when we click on this button, we want that button to be disabled, just so when I click on the save, you know an idea that I clicked on it. Like I click on the save button, it disappears, and then the thing starts saving. We'll put a use state for that, and we'll call this as is loading. So const is loading, set is loading, and initially we could say use state set to false. False means where basically when we click on it, then it's loading. Okay, so we could say over here in the try catch, we could say is loading set to true because we clicked on it, and then once all of the process is done, we could set is loading to false. So over here we could say is loading to false whenever everything is complete. Obviously over here, when all of the process is complete, you also want is loading to be false. But right now I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I'll also show you one more thing, which is going to be in here within the button. We don't want this to be appearing for some specific reasons when we already clicked on it. So I could add this conditional rendering over here inside this div, and I could say so I'd say if is loading. So this is actually the opposite of is loading. So is loading by default is false, but if it's loading, right, if it's true, so and you want to do the following. So you want to show so is loading, and then you want to show the button over here. So let's just copy that, cut that, and bring it in here. Okay, and essentially pretty much I think that's it. So you can see that. Let me just have that spaced up. Okay, so let's just see that is loading. Click on this, save. Right now we have to fill on the input fields. Let me just add some input fields. So inspect. Is loading is not a function at save is loading is not a function at save product. So this is a type error. So we'll look into this. Is loading is not a function at save product. Let's see. So is loading is, oh yeah, it's actually not a function. Where do we do? So I think it's over here. Set is loading. Sorry, what did I do, man? So try catch, we have set is loading. Set is loading. The same goes for this. Set is loading. I guess now it's not gonna give that. Yeah, now it's okay. So now you can see that the button disappears. Means that we are loading the console and everything seems fine. But click on it, yeah, it's not gonna give that problem anymore. Good. So now this is loading feature is done. Let's go up here on the top and let's implement the actual logic for saving the product in our backend. So remember, like I opened up this this backend, you can see this is currently right now the get. I actually want to use the post method, and the post method also exists. Remember in my Thunder client, I was checking all of them out, and I'll show you how that one works. So if I go to my Thunder client, and I'll go Thunder client, and maybe it's this one. So let me just add this one, open a new tab, and you can see over here that we have get. So we have this one, which is get. This is getting all the products. So you can see over here. Okay, so this is not getting all of them. I think it's products get. Let's see, send. Now it's getting all the products. Now apple, banana, and orange. This is just adding one more. So there's one which is called post, and this is post is used to add a new product. So if I add, you know, a new product, it will be added here. So that's actually going to work. So that's the API that we want to use. So let me just copy this, okay, and go back here to my logic. And over here, let's just zoom in, and we go in the try block, and is loading is set to true. So it means it's loading currently. And over here, we're gonna set the following. So we're gonna use Axios to call that API. So we could say axios.post, and we put in the URL. So we could just simply add the URL here. So I think it didn't copy it properly. So this is common. Sometimes it doesn't copy. So you could actually go here in the URL and just copy this string, paste it here. Okay. So now what we need is we have HTTP, and then we have /API/products. And then what we could do is we have a comma, and we actually need to store them in an object format. So I'll show you that this is axios.post, and it needs fields. So whenever I use Axios, the one thing is that it stores them in this kind of format. So this is not in a really proper way, but if I show you in the other view, which is in Thunder Client, open a new tab. So over here you can see so you could see over here name, quantity, price, image. These are the, you know, the way it's stored. So that's how we're gonna do it. So name, just like how it was stored in Thunder Client, and then we have name. This will be the name that is actually for our state. Okay. Similarly, we go for the next one, which is quantity, QU, and then we have that quantity specified here. Similarly, we have price, and we have the price. And then the last one is image, and we have the image specified here as well. Semicolon here. And then we have that. But actually, the thing is, we do save it. Axios has this await. Okay. And whenever I do await, I immediately have to add an async to the function. So async sy and c. Now, one other thing is that this is going to be in a response. So I say const response is equal to await and all that. And I could have, you know, like an alert message. And the alert message says, we could have string template literal save, and then we could say $, and then we could have this and say response.data.name. So we could say name is saved, right? Save name successfully, SUCCESSFULLY, and then we'd have an enter semicolon here. Now, once all of this process is saved, right? Once this runs, we could have the following: set is loading to false, because now we no longer are loading. And we could also now try to navigate back to the main home page. So we could use, you know, the router for this. So to use that, we use const, and we have navigate, NAVIGATE, and then equal to use navigate, NAVIGATE. And over here we have this, but it's actually not going to be imported. So on the top, we need that imported, and we also need to import Axios because we're using that. So let's have the Axios imported, import Axios from Axios, and we also have the navigate. So import use navigate from React Router DOM. So now we could use the navigate, this one, and then we could just simply have it here, navigate to the home URL like that. Okay. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. It should save it. So I believe it's gonna work, but let's just see. So let's have a new product added. So we have like fruits, right? To go to the homepage in the new tab, you can see that there's some fruits. What's missing? Let's see, apple, banana, orange. Let's say, I don't know, kiwi's coming right now in my mind. So kiwi, let's add quantity 55, price 21.23. Sorry, that's too much. But it doesn't really matter. It's fake. So image URL. Let's add a kiwi. So we'll go to pixels, and here we're gonna go and type in kiwi. So let's add kiwi here. And this is a nice picture. So what we're gonna have here is right click, save image, copy image address. Okay. And you could see if I paste this image address, this is just the picture of the image. We could save this in our, yeah. So we could actually save that in our application here. Save. So you can see save kiwi successfully. Okay. And then it adds our kiwi. That is so cool. Our backend worked. It allowed us to add the kiwi product, and after that it rerouted it back to the home page. Success at last. Now the thing is, it was really nice, but I didn't like actually the the alert thing, and I want to make it more nice feeling, in a more natural way. To do that, we could use a React library which is called Toastify. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here and we'll call it React Toastify. And this is the npm library for this. We'll just copy this. This is gonna give us a better experience. So let's go and stop our front end, and then just paste that npm I React Toastify. After we install it, we CLS, and we actually need to include it. So we have to go to the App.jsx file, and we'll have to also look into the documentation here. So we have npm install this -- save React Toastify. This is the gist. So what we have is how it works. So we have the documentation here, and you can see that right now this is the code and this is the documentation for this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna import this thing in our app.jsx file, so the parent container. So over here in the app.jsx, you can see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the code for React Toastify. So over here, let's add another import, and that is gonna be called import toast container. I don't need toast, so I could remove toast, and I only need toast container from React Toastify. The next thing I would like to do is after the routes, you can see we just need to add in so this is the div, right? After the div, what you could do is you could add in toast container, so like that, and this adds the toast container here. After this toast container is added, you also need to add in some CSS. So let me just separate this a little, and let me add some CSS. And if you go back here, I have this import React Toastify CSS. Copy this and bring it in here, paste it here. So we have this React Toastify /dist/ React Toastify.css. Now that we have imported it successfully, we could now go to our actual create page and use this, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to create page, and here we're gonna use React Toastify. So it's pretty easy. All we gotta do is import toast. We have toast from and then we have React Toastify. And normally, you know, it's just a convention to have spaces separated between this. So you could just, it's just a nice coding practice. Yeah, coding convention. So now we have this imported and we want to use it without having the alert. So just remove the, you just overwrite the, so right now alert is okay over here, but over here, like suppose if you want to save it, we could go over here and I could show you how it looks like. So this is how this toast really looks like. It's so simple, like toast, wow, so easy. Go here and see some positioning toast. Let me see positioning toast. Over here you can see there's so many notifications like toast.success, toast.error, toast.warn, toast.info, info notification, and toast. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we could explore, but let's just use toast.success and toast.error. So toast.success will be over here. I'm going to use toast.success, and it's going to just save that successfully. Over here, if it's not saved, we're going to have a toast.error. So we're going to have toast.error, and we could have that error.message saved. Now let's add another product and just evaluate this. So let's go here. It should be refreshed. Okay, my server is off. I mean, not my backend, but my front end is off. npm run dev, and this should turn it on. Let's go back here, refresh it. It's back on. Now let's add another one. Let's say pineapples, or apple, banana. I think what do we do? Let's see. Okay. So pineapple, I think it's like one word. Let's see, pineapple, or is it 2 word? So it's 1 word. Let's just add that. It's all lowercase, it's okay. Quantity, let's say, quantity will say 13. Price will say $5.99. And image URL, let's get it from that same website. So all we gotta do now is go back here and search pineapple and get the, I like this one. So let's go and save image, copy image address and paste it here, save. So you can see save pineapple successfully, and the pineapple is added as well. That is so nice, and the Toastify looks really nice. If we hover over it, it stops, but you know, it just automatically finishes from there, and it looks really nice. The application looks even better now. We have like 5 different products, and you know, now we're gonna move forward. So this is really nice, good progress so far. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to edit a product. So let's go here. You can see, like, if I want to edit Apple, this is the edit page, and this is /edit, but we have to try to get the ID of the product and then edit from there. So like I could get banana, and I could get the details of the banana and edit from there. So let's just go back and let's see where we could do this. So the thing is, they're actually in this these are actually cards, right? And if I go here, this is like the entire card. These are all cards components. I find the component for this. So if I go and here, and I go to the client, and what I'll do over here is I'll find the component. So source, components, and then there's this product component. Now you can see over here we have the /edit and /delete, right? And we want /edit to have the link to, you know, the thing that we actually need. So we could add the backticks /edit, and we want the ID of the product. So we have the product here, right? Product is being passed here, and you have product.image, product.name, product.quantity, and all that. And I essentially believe it's homepage. So homepage is actually having this, and you can see that there is this product card, products, where are you? It's gonna be over here somewhere. So is loading, loading products.map. Yeah, the product key index and then the product. We're passing the entire thing here, and it's going to be here. So we could just use this product ID. So I could say $, and then we could say product dot underscore ID. Okay, save that, and actually you'll see that it's actually true. I'll show you. So do we have any Thunder client open up? No, we don't. So let's just show the Thunder client just for demonstration purposes. Open a new tab and see that there's actually an ID over here somewhere. So let me just get. So over here, you know this underscore ID, this is the ID of the product that we want to try to get. They're all unique for each single product, right? I'm going to use now, there's more, you know, now so there's more, but we're going to try to get the ID for each. That's what we want to do and achieve. So this is the edit, and now it's going to, you know, give us the ID for that specific product edit. And this is the unique ID for that product. And we could actually go to the separate edit page to add that. But before that, we have to go to the App.jsx and I have to fix up the route. So from here, we'll say /:ID, and this is just for, you know, dynamic routing, right? Right after that, we have the thing is fixed. Now we could go to the EditPage.jsx and we could add the things that we need here. So the thing is, let's first, you know, import use params, and then we want that imported from React Router DOM, and we want to basically have the params here. So edit page, so you could actually display the thing here. So I could say you could get use params, you could get an ID. So ID is equal to use params. Okay, let ID, and then you could just display the ID here. So essentially, so we could have ID and then ID. If I show you, refresh, so inspect console. Objects are not valid as a React child. Object with keys ID. If you meant to render a collection of children, use an array instead. So I believe it's something else. I think it's like this. I'm just seeing. Yeah. So now it's this is actually an object, and you can see that's the entire ID coming from here. You could change it to name. So, you know, you could actually get the name of the product and any other thing as well. So right now, you know, everything seems fine. What we're going to do is we're going to actually call this API and get all the data from here. So let's now, you know, first start with getting the product. So let's go here in the div. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and in the div section, I'm going to try to create a form for this. But before that, we could actually go in here and add the things that we might need. So we might need navigate, and that is used for routing. So navigate, we're going to be using it to edit. So we could say use navigate. Okay. And of course it's imported automatically. Now we also need, you know, the loading state. So just going to look nice, is loading, set is loading. And then you could have is equal to use state, and then we can have you know, loading set to false initially. We also have the product variable, which is gonna create a variable to store the product data. So to create that, we could say const product set product, and it's going to contain all the fields that are needed for creating a product. So I could actually add the name as an empty, the quantity as an empty string, quantity, the price as an empty string, and the image as an empty string. Okay. And now we have get product, and this is gonna, get our product. So I could call this function. So essentially what we have here is the product could be over here. So I could just have, I'm gonna add the get product function in here first. So const get product. Okay. Arrow function like this. Now what we're gonna do is we have get product, and we have to set the loading state. So set is loading, and we'll set it to true initially. Okay, because we're trying to get the product. We could call the thing in a try and catch block, and you already know, like in a catch block, it's gonna handle all the error logic. In the try block, we could have, the Axios thing. So let's import Axios, import Axios from Axios. Okay, and we could use that to get the single ID. Now you might be asking, like, where's that API? We created all of them, even that one. So let me just show you in Thunder Client. Thunder Client, open a new tab, and you could see there was one ID which is used to get one specific. So it was actually get the specific ID using, let's suppose this one. So let me just say this, copy products, and then this, and then you can see it retrieves. I press send, press enter, and then you can see it only retrieves the first, the ID that it exists with. So this is the API that we're going to be using, and that's actually existing. So it just gets the one ID. So we're going to use that one. So let's go and add the, Axios code for that. So Axios dot get, and the thing is the URL has to be the same. Let me just copy this URL, copy, and paste it here. Now you don't need a dummy ID. We're gonna use a dynamic one. So we're gonna use the backticks over here. So we're not using this. So backticks, and we'll use the dollar and this operation, and we'll actually get the ID from the product. So we could say product, so ID, right? Actually, because we're using params here, right? And we could use the ID from there. Perfect. And over here we have, colon product. And this is the state that's being saved with, this stuff. And essentially you could have that as await whenever the await is happening here, because this is editing the product, right? So we need an asynchronous here. So async. After that, we have, the const response. And we have set product, round brackets, and we could put in the things that we might need. So we could have the first thing is the name, and then we could save that as response dot data dot name. We can store that in name. For the quantity, we could have, now remember, set product are the states that we created here, and we can just get this from the response. So response dot data dot quantity. Similarly, we have price, and we could have that as response dot data dot price. The last one is image, and we have response dot data dot image, and we have set is loading, and we'll put that as false. Okay. And so essentially it saves it, set is loading to true, then it makes it false. Over here we could just have the Toastify message again. But first we have set is loading to false, since it's no longer loading. And you could use the Toastify message to say, there's a toast.error, and then we have error.message. For that, you need to import Toastify. So import toast from React Toastify. Okay. For now, right now, you can see that there is this code being called, and it has to be called every single time, right? Not actually every single time, but whenever the first reload happens. So you could use the use effect code for this. So we'll have use effect, and we'll have this as the syntax, and you already know there's an array passed like that. So this is the use effect code, and we call this get products code. So get products. So get product, and like that. So essentially this is going to be called like that. Go here. Right now you have some errors. Let's debug and see what's the problem. So right now it says over here that uncaught use state is not defined at edit page. So let's add these things first. Let's add it here. So I'm gonna have round brackets here, and I'll say React use state use effect. All of them should be imported. Okay, so now you have this refreshed, and there's no more errors. We see the ID is being called. Actually, there's nothing in the console screen, right? And essentially, this product has these product.name, product.quantity, and all that. So I would like to see the product dot name. Okay, and we could just have product name. Okay, let's just see. So right now you can see Apple is existing. Let's just have, this means that the database thing is working 100% accurately. So go back, edit banana, go back, edit orange, go back, edit kiwi, go back, edit pineapple, go back, edit an apple, and it could have all its properties set. So right now we have, this is the use state that's happening. It's populating it one by one, name and response.data. And I could have, the product name. Similarly, could use all the fields now. Product dot quantity, product dot price, and product dot image, which I think is just going to give a URL. So let's see. Yeah. So you can see all of this is combined together. So we could have some breakpoints applied. BR self-closing. I don't know. I'm just adding this. I don't really need this, but later on, I'm just showing you like for test purposes. So right now you can see Apple 10 $4.99, and this is the image. Edit banana 30 $6.99. All right, so you got what I'm trying to say. So we had our Apple 10 $4.99 and all the image URL in our edit page, but now we actually need to get a little step further and actually get the proper thing that we need. So we'll remove all of this, and you could see this is my edit page. As for now, we have an edit page component inside it. We have these use states, and then we have this use use state, and then this ID from the use params and the navigate, and then we essentially create a product variable to store our product. And our product, if I just give a product name, I could get it. The use effect is used to get the product in the first reload. Axios is happening to load it using the API get with an ID parameter, and then this is what's happening. So ID URL, and this is happening over here. But now let's actually go to the form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the create page, and over here you can see that there's actually a form that we created before. This entire form, right? This form, this copy. So I'm just going to copy this entire form. So what I could do is essentially not only the form, but let me just copy this entire div. So let's just copy this entire thing from here, and I'm going to reuse it. So I'm going to copy this entire thing. I believe it's this, so I'm just going to copy and just click on this once to see, yep, it's over here. Now go to the edit page and just override it with this existing one. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of things that we have to consider. One thing is that this is no longer create, it's actually update a product. Over here, we're not going to save a product, but we're going to have a function which is going to be called update product. So we're going to have to define that function over here somewhere. So to define that function, we could just add it on top of this use effect. So let me just create an empty function for now. So we could say const update product, and then we could have an empty arrow function like so like that, so that the error is gone. After that, we have the name, quantity, price, and image URL. The one thing that we have to consider is that the values are no longer name. It's actually now the product variable has the name. So the product dot name. Okay, now same thing will go for the other one. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm just going to add it prepended before all of this. So product.quantity, product.price, and product.image. Now you can see that the on change are no longer going to work. We're gonna have to do it a little bit differently because we're not naming it like that. So right now you can see that the Apple 10 price and the image are populated in the update a product page, right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this on change, and we're gonna have our own format for this. Right now, if I try to update the Apple, it won't work. So I'm gonna have to delete this and delete this. So get this, delete that. Same thing goes for here. And over here. Okay, so now we're all done with that. You can see that there's actually a button here, and this is the loading thing. So all of that is okay. Over here, we're not going to have save button, but we're going to have update. So update here. Other than that, I think it's all okay. And let's just look at it. It looks good, but still we need the on change property here. So to get the on change property, we're gonna go and see how this could actually be implemented. So before that, let's go back and see the other. So if I go to banana, it opens up the banana one. If I go to the orange, it opens up the orange quantity. And I can't change anything right now. So let's just go back to the Apple, and let's add the on change property here as well. So if I go to the value, after the value we have on change. Okay, and the on change will have the event, so actually event, and this as an arrow function, which is equal to set product. Okay, so there's there's a set product up here. So we're using that over here. So we're going to have the JSON, and we're going to have all of the products that are, all the else are going to be the same except for the name. So we have the name will turn into e.target.value. I'll tell you what this means. It means that this is the spread operator, and it means that all the rest of values for the like quantity, price, and image instead of name will be the remaining the same except for the name. For the name, input field. And for that specific purpose, I'm able to update that. And now we have to modify that according to our quantity and our price and our image URL. So we're just going to copy this exact same code. So where is it? Let me just copy this. Copy it. And we're going to bring it down here in the quantity, and we see the value. After the value, we could have paste and set product, and product name e.target. Instead of name, we'll have now quantity, QUANTITY. And the same thing goes for the price. So just save it, and we'll change this to price. And the last thing would be the image URL. So paste it here, and we'll change this to image. Okay, so now we're all done, I guess. And this would be corrected. Now, the thing is, I'm still not able to update. So right now, I have to put a number. So I'm still not able to update. The reason behind that is that the Axios code isn't working. So let's fix this up, and we'll have to call this update product. So over here, we have this Axios code. We have http://localhost port 3000/API/products, and then the ID, and then it sets it. But this is just getting it. Now we're gonna have to implement it. So to update this, let's go to the function, and first let's prevent the default. So e.prevent default behavior. Okay. So e.prevent default behavior will just mean that I have to put the event in here. After that, we're gonna set is loading to true because we're now loading the thing, right? Let's have a try and catch block to add the Axios. So add this one. In the catch, you already know we could set is loading to false. Okay, and we could also have a toast message indicating that there was an error. So right now we have toast already imported, so we could just add a message saying toast.error error.message, like that. Up here on the try block, we could have set is loading to true, and then we could have the Axios code to actually call the API. Which API am I talking about? I'm talking about the put API that allows us to edit, if you were back in here, open a new tab. So you can see over here, remember that API that I created over here, one was put, and it's allows us to edit an ID. So suppose orange is edited, so one more, and I'm gonna edit it, and it's gonna run, and it's gonna edit the thing. So this is just the same thing, but now it's put. That's all we have to do. Again, you could refresh and maybe check the beginning of the video where I demonstrated all this API logic. So I hope you all understand it. So try, we're gonna have axios.put, and we're gonna put in the URL. So of course I forgot to save it. Let me just go back here. It's a good thing that I brought it here as well. So copy this and paste it here, and I'm just gonna have it there. Now the thing is, I'm not putting strings, but I'm using this one, string template literal, not the other one. And over here we have http:// and products. The thing is, we're using put now. Now this is going to be used to update the thing. So what are we updating? The product, right? Product we are updating. So you could see that this variable is set here, and it's basically being stored. You could put an await here because it's an Axios thing. So await, and whenever there's an await, you always have to put an async. So async, so that should be there. Okay, so now that we have this await done, we could have an success message. We say toast.success, and we could say updated the product successfully, successfully, and then we could navigate to the home page again. So we could say navigate, and you need the navigate from the React Router DOM. So I'll just show you. Navigate is here. It should be added here first. Const navigate, use navigate function, and then navigate should be imported. Use navigate, use params from React Router DOM. So you know, it had that for me. So now after that, the update product is successful, and it's calling this on the update product, and I think it should be working. So let's try to update a product now. So go over here, refresh this app. Quantity of the apple to, instead of 10, let's have it 100, and the price should be $6.99. Update request failed with status code 404. Let's see what happened. So we have console load. The server responded with the status of 404. Let's see what happened. So we can see that the both things are on MongoDB and this thing is connected. But let's see what could be the problem. Slash. So we have the same thing. So we have axios.put, and we have localhost port 3000 /API/products and product. But there's an error message, and I think it came here, is loading, and then toast.error message. Maybe it's because I'm not updating it properly. Let me just see. Go in here and edit banana. Banana's price to, quantity to, let's say 10301. Update. We still get an issue. Localhost edit page. Maybe the API endpoint is not correct, and I believe that's gonna be maybe the answer. And the reason behind that is that I don't have the ID. Wow, what a big mistake I did. Over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a $, and over here we're gonna have the ID. And I'm getting that from the use params, right? So where am I getting this ID? Dynamic ID, you might be asking. And it's actually coming from the use params ID that I'm passing in from the URL. And this should now put it. So refreshing it once more, banana's quantity turns to 120. It's update. Okay, so it's still having this problem. So API, okay, I guess I forgot the /API/products. Sorry about that. I forgot the products. Slash, and then we have $ID. Let me refresh this terminal. And let me also, before stopping it, let me go here into the Thunder client and open a new tab. This is products. Get, put. Okay. I think what I believe is that it's a little bit different. Let me just have the backend opened up again, server. And in the server we have the routes, product routes, and over here we have router.put /update product. Okay. Let's go to the controller. So controllers, product controller, and over here we have so get product, single product, update. Where's the update? There you go. Okay, this is happening with so it's happening. Request handler. Going back to the routes /post /create product, update product, and then going back to the index.js. It is /API/products, and then it should happen. So going back to the edit page, So we have Axios, await Axios.put, http:// localhost port 3000/API/products. And I forgot a slash here. Wow. What a big issue. Right now I got the slash and now the ID, and this should not create a problem anymore. Let's go here, make the quantity of bananas to 120, update, and now the update has been successful. 120 bananas have now been populated. That's crazy. Okay, so now we have all of this stuff. You can see now the banana and then the price and the quantity. I think I missed one thing. Maybe I could have had in the card maybe the price and the product. So let's go and fix this up first. Let's go to the product section. Over here you can see that there's this name, quantity, and price. But let's just add some good text with it as well. So let's have, you know, over here I'll have quantity Q. So QUANTITY, so quantity, and then this, and then the price would be in dollars, so it's a price, and that we could just put a $sign here, price, like that. So let's see what happens now. So now you can see looks much better. Yeah, so quantity is 10. I hope it's not like a double or triple space, and yeah, it looks good. It looks much better. Okay, great. So now we have the quantity 120, and then the price is in dollars. You could change it to whatever currency you like, or you know, just do whatever you want. Now what's next is that I have to go to the edit product. We could edit the product successfully. Let's see, edit apple. Let's make the apple's quantity 100, and let's make the price to a sale. It's a $2.99 per apple. Okay, so now we can see 100 apples. $2.99 is the apple price, and you can see now this is a nice updated the product successfully. It looks good. Let's open it up. But one thing that I want is just a little cool effect that when I'm using Axios, because I'm actually calling Axios every single time, go to the edit page. This Axios is being called whenever the use effect is being triggered, and that's whenever I load the page for the first time. And I want to have like a cool effect where it says loading and then it shows the results. So to achieve something like that, you could have the div, and then there's the h2, and after that you have this form, right? So you could have this closed, and before this form you could have, you know, this this portion where you could have the loading thing. So now is loading, right? And you're checking if it's loading, you're just gonna have the loading text. But if it's done loading, right, you could have this form, entire form thing. So what you could do is actually put this in within JSX fragment. So like that, and just paste this entire thing. So I could just alt and bring it up in here. Okay, so that's done, and then we have a normal div. I guess maybe it's gonna be down. It's gonna be down. Never. Yeah. This div is there, and then there's this semicolon, and just add a semicolon here. Okay, so now it looks good. Expand this, format document, and everything seems to look good. And go back here, Apple. Let's have this as updated. Okay, just have capital just to see the change. Updated. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is update, and you can see Apple updated. Edit. There's a quick response for that. It's my computer is running too fast, but there's gonna be a small loading, and then after that it does it. So you could see it with the changing in the inspect element. I did a video related to this. I would recommend checking out the React CRUD book application, where I actually showed you how to change the speed of the network and view the loading state thing. But right now I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to move forward. So now we're done with this edit functionality. Let's now we're going to have to move over to the delete functionality. So let's go to the edit page. Edit page is crossed, and we go to the Product.jsx file. Over here you can see that this is a link, and this is /delete. We're not having a link to this anymore. We're gonna have to change this to like a delete button. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add this to a button. this to/delete will be changed. So this, and then the last part here would be just delete button, or button. And what I'm gonna have is now like an onClick class, onClick property. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I'm gonna have an onClick, and the onClick will have like this, an empty, and then it should call it to the handle delete functionality. So what I could do is you could just have delete product, and you could add the the product._id to delete the product. And then where am I getting this? I'm getting this from the product thing over here. But the thing is, let's add one thing. Normally you could see the home page has this product key, index, and product. But one thing we would need more is, let's get this get products, because this allows us to get all the products, and we could get the ID from that. Okay, so you could see that this is get products. It's that you could just paste this right here. After this, you could have maybe no comma, so you could just say, wait a minute. So you could say get products, and then we have equal to, and we have get products. Okay, so this function could be passed here, and then we could just add that as get products. Okay, so now that it's passed up here, we could have the delete product functionality created first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here in the return, and I'm going to define the delete product functionality up here. So let's have the delete product functionality, and it's going to be const delete product, or you could say handle delete, whatever you like. And it's an arrow function like this. Semicolon here. Okay, let's have a try catch too as well. Normally, like you would do that. So try and catch. And then what you could do is in the error, you could say toast.error, and you could say message error.message. Now the thing is, I don't have toast, so I'm gonna have to import it. You could import it like import toast from React Toastify. Okay, so after that, let's try to delete. We have another API for that, and that's the last API. What you could do is you could have axios.delete same URL. Now, I'm not gonna use this string, but I'm gonna use string template literal, and this is the products, right? But we need the ID to delete it, right? So to get that, you have a slash, and then you have a $, and you could have ID. Okay, now you might be asking, where can we get this ID? Well, the ID is being passed here. So you can see, remember that we have delete product and we have product_ID. We're passing it here. We could have it here. So ID right here. Now this product, it will be deleted, right? So one thing that we need is this is gonna have an await, since it's Axios. And once we have an await, we'll need to put in async here, sync, and over here we're gonna do is the following. We're gonna say, if it's successful, we say those.success product deleted successfully. And then we could navigate, or now instead of navigating, we are in the home page, of course. So it's better to, because we're in the product section, that's in the home page. That's better to just call the products again, because we want to reload the products. So that's why we're reloading the product using get products, right? We're getting this from a prop. Let's see, where are we getting this from a prop, and this is coming from home page. So you get products function is this. and that's how it's going to load the products one more time, and you'll see all of the new things, right? New updates. So this is going to handle delete functionality. Now, if I want to delete, let's see what happens. So consoling just to see what's happening. Okay, so now let's see. Let's try to delete pineapple. Axios is not defined. Wow. So let's go up here and define Axios. Import Axios. So Axios from Axios. Okay. Do you think we need anything else right now? I don't see anything at the moment, but let's see. Refresh. Delete product. And product deleted successfully. Amazing. And obviously that's gonna go away. I could cross the thing to cross out. My pineapple is deleted, man. I'm gonna have to add it again. But before that, I want to have like a confirmation message. It's just too random, right? We have, are you sure you want to delete? For that, you know, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna for confirmation, we're gonna actually download Sweet Alert 2. So let's go to Sweet Alert 2. Sweet Alert 2. So you can see over here, this is Sweet Alert 2, and this allows us to have these really nice, you know, things, pop-ups. Are you sure you want to delete? A dialog with 3 buttons, a custom position dialog. You can see this one is your work has been saved. This is like a custom animation, confirmation dialog. I like this one, a confirm dialog with a function attached to a confirm button. So this is the thing that we need, right? And these are so many cool things, like, and by passing a parameter, you can execute something else for cancel. So this is also there. This is the thing that we need, and I'll have to import this. So to do this, we go to install it. I saw this Sweet Alert npm package as well over here. A beautiful, responsive, customizable, thing. Sweet Alert 2. Just have this copied from here, copy to clipboard, and turn off your front end, and then npm I Sweet Alert 2. After that, once it's done, go to the Product.jsx and add the code related to Sweet Alert. For the first thing, what we have to do is we have to import SWAL from Sweet Alert 2. Okay, now you can see that the documentation actually shows us how to do this. We have to add this function in here. Okay, so the thing is, it essentially has this SWAL dot fire, and then we have this. It's not actually, like, I would call it like parameters, not function related, but yeah, title, are you sure you want to delete, and all that. So you can see that, are you sure you want to delete? Are you sure? Text is up here, and then you won't be able to revert this. Let's just go and fix this up according to our needs. Over here in the delete function, we have the code. So we'll have is a const result, and we'll have an await function. We'll have an await, and await has the SWAL dot fire, and then in the round brackets we have some parameters that we have to discuss. So let me just have these parameters copied, and I'll show you what they mean. So we have title, do you really want to delete the product? Warning, true, show cancel button, and then we have confirmation button color, and then we have cancel button color, confirm button text, yes, delete it. And then after that, once you have the deleted functionality, you could have if result dot is confirmed, because now you don't have to do that dot then, because you can see over here dot then is over here. Because we already have this as an async, and that's why there's an await over here. There's no need for that. So if it's confirmed, meaning if it's confirmed and it's properly deleting, you could have the try and catch block here. So just get this alt and bring it up here, save. So this is if the result is confirmed, rest nothing would be existing. So format document like that. And hopefully now this could do something for us. Refresh. Okay, there's a problem because my server turned off. And I mean, not my server, my front end. So npm run dev. I hope I downloaded it. I think I did. So I'm going back here, refreshing it. Okay, so delete orange. Are you really want to, do you really want to delete the product? Yes, delete it, cancel. Yes, delete it. Product deleted successfully. Amazing. And just 3 are left. So that's our, confirmation dialog box. And the last thing that I want to do before we end this is, just to add refactoring the URLs existing throughout our entire application. So what I mean is that there's like http://localhost port 3000, right? And this is in the Product.jsx, it's in the HomePage, it's in the CreatePage, and it's in the EditPage, and all, it's in the CreatePage, you can see over here, localhost, and it's in the HomePage, you can see over here. The problem is that suppose my app backend code URL changes, right? In that case, I would have to change it every single place. Instead of that, what I would recommend is going here into the folder client. So what you will do is go to the client folder. So I'm going to go to the client folder here in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a .env. So .env. And I'm going to call this as Vite underscore backend underscore URL, and have the URL pasted. So essentially it's the common thing that's coming everywhere. And that's http://localhost port 3000. Now that the .env is set there, I have to go to the App.jsx. And over here, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add one thing. So go here into the App.jsx, and before this, you can see that there's this app function, right? Before this app function, what we could do is export const Vite backend URL. This is how we're going to access the env thing. So Vite backend URL is equal to import.meta.env, and then we are allowed to use the variable. So Vite backend URL semicolon. This is allowing us to access the Vite backend URL from the .env, and now we could use it overall throughout in our entire application. Okay, so the first thing we could change is the homepage. The homepage where you see the homepage, you could change the axios.get, and instead of this HTTP, you could have first you could have the string template literals. Okay, and then you could have this deleted and just change to $1. And in here you would have the Vite backend URL. Now, of course, this has to import Vite backend URL from /app, and this is allowing us to use that /API, and everything else seems okay. And next, we're going to go to the edit page. So let's go to the edit page. Going here, client, source, pages, edit page. Same thing goes for here. Let's change this, and I'll say Vite. Okay, so we have $Vite backend URL, and then this imports it over here as well, /API. Same thing goes for the, so you could see that the edit page is done as well. Now let's go to the create page. So that's going to be in here. Over here, the same thing goes. So what we have is string templates again, like this, and this was for the creating, right? Post method. So I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna say, okay, $, I just forget that, Vite backend URL, and this imports it over here as well. Perfect. The last thing is the product. So go to the product, and in the product section, you'll see actually the product component. You'll see that there's over here. So it's already in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete this. We're gonna have a $, symbol, and then we have Vite backend URL, and this updates here as well. Perfect. Saving all of it, and once more we look into it, and you can see this should work. So let's create a new product, and let's say mango, quantity 22, price 444, random, and let's go and get a mango image. Mango. So over here we have mangoes. Let's get this one. So save image as save image address, copy image address, paste it here, save. So we have mango. All of this is working. You can see now it's using the .env. It's in the backend. The purpose of this was to essentially, the purpose of this thing was to essentially have one place where you could actually change your URL, backend URL, so that you don't have to go overall in the entire code and change it. So you could just change it from here, and everything else would be, updated. This is a good coding practice, and that's why it's recommended. Let's upload this and deploy it online. So let's go to Vercel.com, and let's go and create a new project. And before we create a new project, we have to add this into GitHub. So let's go to GitHub, into your GitHub account. And one thing that I want to see is that let's just make sure that we don't have this. Okay, we don't actually have any. So I'm going to go to GitHub, and I'm going to create a new repository, and I'm going to call this as simple CRUD app. Let's just call that, I guess the name of that was simple CRUD app project. Simple CRUD project, or maybe a name to it would be good, like let's say CRUD product, CRUD simple CRUD products, simple products CRUD app. Okay, simple products CRUD app. I don't know, I just named it like that. Public, create repository, then follow this code snippet. I normally go here and I open up my CMD. Now my CMD is not opening, so I'm just going to open up terminal. Over here, I'm going to add the following. So first I'm going to say git init. Then I'm going to have git add. Okay. Then we have git commit -m, first commit. And then we have git branch -m main. And then we have git remote add origin. And then we have to give the URL. So this is the URL. I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, right here. And then we have git push -u origin and main. So this should upload it. So let's just see. Okay, this of course happens. This server is gonna have this, and the fix for this was I had done this before as well. So you can see now in the server there's actually a git sub repository. That's why it's causing that problem. Better way to do this is go over here And I would recommend open up ChatGPT, and it's called I have an arrow inside my I have an arrow icon in my server folder within my main Git repository on GitHub. I want to access both of my folders, but I'm unable to click on the server folder, which has an arrow icon on it. Okay, maybe it's a sub repository created in a parent repository. How can I fix this, right? How can I fix this? Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this and see what Google has to say for us. I think it opens up a Stack Overflow. Let's see. Yeah. So it says I have recently pushed to GitHub, and see when I click on the folder, it does not open. On my local machine, it has contents, but in GitHub, I cannot access. What does this mean? And cause a nested Git repository. And the solution is this one. So what we're gonna, the arrow, you mean that is somehow you can try add your folder. If the results isn't like an error, XX module appears, you may try this. Then you should successfully run. Okay. So let's try to follow this first. Let's go and do this. So I'm gonna go here, and first, the arrow may mean that is a submodule. So what we're gonna do is CLS, and we say you may try git add your folder, git add. What is the folder called? Server, right? So it's called server. I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah. So it's called your server. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have is if that error is an error, if that results in an error like this appears, you may try this. Then you can successfully run. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just add. First, I'm not gonna use the git rm -, cached. Okay, I'm gonna have git add, and then we have git add your folder. Or maybe I'm gonna have to do it. Let me just do it. Git rm -, cached, and then we have server. Okay, git add dot git commit -m, second commit, and we have git push. I don't even know what's happening. -u origin main. So let's go back here. Nothing happened. I ignored some messages. Cause changes not staged for commit. Modified server, modified untracked. So git add -f to update what will be committed. So git add server, git commit -m, second commit. Then we have git. Okay, again, your branch, on branch main, your branch is up to date with origin main. Changes not staged for commit. Use git add file to update what will be committed. Git restore file to discard. 1 minute, let me see, just git add. Let me just see. Git add dot git commit -m, second commit. And then we have again the same kind of problem. It says over here, let's see. Let's instead of that, in my case, we have git rm cache portal ls git status git add -all, and it should work. So let's just see what happens with ChatGPT, what it says. So if you see an arrow icon next to a folder in your GitHub repository, it indicates that it's a submodule. A submodule is a separate Git repository embedded inside another Git repository. Submodules are often used to include external repositories as dependencies within a project. To access the contents of a submodule, in your case, the server folder with the arrow icon, you need to initialize and update the submodule. Here are the steps you can follow. Clone the repository with submodule. So we can have git submodule init, git submodule update, cd server. Push changes in the main repository cd, add server, commit. I'm on Windows, man. Tell me the commands I need to use on Windows. Okay, because I'm actually on Windows. So on Windows, you can use the command prompt of PowerShell to execute git commands. Here are the equivalent steps to so clone the repository with submodules. If you haven't cloned the repository yet, or didn't include the submodules, you can clone with the -- recursive flag. So it says that it's actually like a submodule or something. The better way to address this is delete this git thing. Okay, I'm gonna delete the git, which is up here, and once I delete this git, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's deleted. Now I'll go back here, and now let's see. So cls git add all git commit -m second commit. I don't know. Let's see if this works. And then we have git push -new origin, and then we have main. Okay, still nothing changed. So better way is to it's not a submodule. I deleted the .git inside of the server folder manually. It's not a submodule anymore. Tell me the necessary steps to view the server folder on GitHub. Okay. So now let's see if you've deleted the git inside directory on this and you want to make it standalone repository, not a submodule, you can use the following. Okay, commit out. Okay, let's see what happens. So let's have cls git add server, commit the changes, git commit -m second commit is not even happening, and then we have branch is all the same, man. Git push -. Everything is up to date. There's nothing like changing it. Let's just follow this again. Git add server, git rm -- cached server, git commit -m git push -u origin main. And now it looks like something happened. Let's see what. It's deleted. Server client is let's do it one more time, and hopefully now it should be done. Git add dot git commit -m server added, and then we have git push -u origin, and then we have main. Okay, so let's refresh, and the server folder is there. Perfect. It took some time, but finally we got it. Sounds good. We have the client and the server, and now we could finally deploy it on Vercel. So go here. Now I would recommend going to import third-party Git repository. No, not here. So we have to go here, rs-bit, and I have to search the repository name. So what is it called? Simple products, simple simple products. Okay. It's not gonna come. So of course I have to configure app. And over here, I'm gonna use my password. Let's use my password. I think it's already saved. So this, let's go and zoom this up. And over here we have to search it. Select repository. It's called simple hyphen products. There you go. And save it. And now it's gonna find it. Gonna import it. Now framework preset. I don't have to check anything. I hope like it knows what's happening. So edit. You can see right now there's the client and the server. So let's try to, now the server link will be changed immediately, right? This is gonna, yes. So let's have the server uploaded. And there's going to be like build and output settings. Environment variables will be for the, I think I don't need any environment variables, honestly. So let me see. Server.env. I do need. It is used for, let's quickly add the node environment. Just add all these environment variables, all right? One at a time. So go here to the build settings, environment variables, and add node environment. And the first one is development. Add one more is Mongo URL, copy, paste, and the connection string should be over here. Copy this entire thing. Copy, paste, add on, what else was there? Okay, front end port 3000. Right now, the port is 3000, but it might change later on, right? So, not sure what to do here. Let me just delete, I'll delete if it doesn't work, right? Add, and the last one is front end. Front end URL will change. So right now, just add this and deploy it. See what happens. What major concern is that I have to change the URL there. So if I go here, yeah. So this is the domain. Okay. Okay, this is just the code. Slash API slash API slash products. I believe it's because of the port. So going to the settings, the environment variables. Yeah. So we have port. Let's just remove this. Okay. Go back here. Runtime logs. Instant rollback. Visit domain, git repository. Where are you? Deployments. Redeploy. Development created successful. Visit. Okay. What is it? My backend API was localhost slash API slash products. So let's see. Interesting. So there's something that's missing. Just giving me the index.js file slash API slash products. This is over here, process.env.port. It's got to be something that's missing. Maybe that port thing again. I'm not sure. I actually watched a video once, and I'm gonna show you which one I actually watched. Deploy on this. So deploy MERN app online. Deploy MERN app on Vercel. Okay. It's this one, I guess.
So here I have a completed MERN project and push it to GitHub. We have client as React app and server as Node.js API. And this is when
so he's just setting up his MongoDB.
so we need to get.
Okay.
Next, we will deploy the APIs.
Yeah.
If you don't see your GitHub repository, do your repository that
create a repository,
change it to your server.
Okay, so what happened here?
API. Then we are deploying Express API. So here just give it order. Yep. So easy. Then they click deploy. Okay, project. To some error here. Just don't worry, we are going to fix it. Okay, now go to your project, go to server folder and create a file Vercel.json.
Yep, that's
so
the
what
thing
we do
we
here,
forgot.
just go to vercel.com/project configuration and go to build. Here, just
we forgot this file. Amazing.
Paste here.
Vercel.json. I mean, what amazing.
Okay.
And then read it, right? It's gonna work. Amazing. So let's just fix this up. First, let's have the Vercel.json file. Now, I believe that I have this code in my GitHub. So maybe like if I find it, let's explore something. So Harspit and not travel blog, the book app, I remember. So projects, it's gonna be book app. So let's find it. Where are you? Book app, the TMDB, MERN login, book app, MERN social media app, book app. Where are you? Book project at CRUD. It's gonna be online, should be server, Vercel config. There you go. Vercel.json. Let's use this one. Copy. Sorry. Copy. And let's open up here. And over here in the server, add a new file. This is called Vercel.json. And paste this code. Version 2 builds. Perfect. After that, back. Let's see what else was there. Vercel.json, package.json, data.json. I don't know. I don't think so. This is like something that we need. No, these are just things. Let's go back here into the video. Where's the video again? Yeah, it's over here.
So here we use Node.js server. So just delete the. So here we the Python.
So you're just building the Vercel.json.
Put it to okay.
That's it.
Okay. So you can see building here. We will to deploy again. So, yeah.
Okay, let's just see. Let's now commit it because now the Vercel.json is there. Let's go back to the command prompt here. CLS git add dot git commit -m Vercel config, right? Vercel configuration git push -u origin main. Let's see what happens now. Where's Vercel? No. Code. Promote to production. Redeploy. I want to see the app again. Over here. What happened here? To update. Yeah. Let's see what happens in the GitHub repository. It should. Oh, just now created just now by Harris, but looks like there's something new. So yeah, now, and open this up. Okay. Oh, perfect. Hello Node API. That is done. /API/products. And bang, we got our database. That's amazing. Okay, now the important thing is now that we have this, right? This is our main localhost. We have to copy this path. And this is the same thing I was talking about. We got our client .env file, which is over here. And we have this, right? So we can just paste this URL inside. Vite backend URL will be this. Now, hold on. I'll tell you how to do this. Go back to Vercel. And let's create another one. Vercel.com. New project. And we're going to select the same thing, which is simple CRUD app. Import this. Now, okay. CRUD app. And we're going to have front end. Okay. Front end. I could have called the other one called like backend or something. Other, we don't need any. Edit here, root directory. And this is now the client folder. And what else was there? Edit, public and source. No, it's okay. Now build and output. We just need an environment variable. And for here, we're just going to give this backend URL. Vite backend URL. And that's going to be this thing. Okay. And this is just going to be added and now deployed. Oh, no. What's it? Wait a minute. Yeah, it's perfect. I thought I messed up. It is the backend URL. I could have just had it like /-backend, but right now you'll see that the front end is also added. Let's see, continue to dashboard. Let's see what happens now. Okay, right now you see that it's just loading. So right now the API isn't calling. Should be some reason behind this. Let me go back here. Don't I need anything over here? I'm not sure, but let's see. Vite backend URL is this, and I think it is. Yeah. So did I commit? No, I didn't. I didn't commit, man. CLS git add dot git commit -m Vite backend URL git push -u origin and main. It should have that one change that I'm thinking about, and it should go here into the project history, I should say. So here. So right now, building, there you go. It's building. And it's ready. Refresh. Okay, still it's not loading. What could be the reason? Let's see, look at GitHub. Vercel config. Vite backend URL. .env. Yeah. It's supposed to work, right? I have slash. What if it's like double slash, right? Copy, paste. What if it's like double slash happening? Yeah, I have to check that. Going back to client, source, pages. Let's just look at it. Yeah, maybe it's a double slash happening. Could be a reason. Maybe yeah, I didn't have a slash there. Wow. Small change, just a slash change. Let's see, fixed. Git push. -u origin and main. Again, it's gonna do the same thing. What happened? It's still happening on backend URL. Yeah, this one. Still not existing. I believe it's like that. Go back to GitHub. Client.env. It's like that. It takes you to the actual node, right? It takes you there. Go to, and it takes you to the simple products. Yeah, it takes you to this hello node API. Client, home.jsx. Where are you? Pages, public, source, back, pages, home, /API /products. It should happen. Why is it not happening? Wait a minute. So let's just look at that. It is having a slash with it. And it does give all the data, but still there's some kind of issue happening. Let's look at the video again.
Just try it. We can be API equal to public. So that's it.
So there's a lot of different ways to learn data, but most of them.
Here, create another project.
Deploy Node Express.
Just
Node Express API to Vercel. Then we got the front end code.
I just keep it on Vercel. Yeah, it's simple. You just need to read it to your client React. Vercel can auto detect our framework. Here you can see it. And in environment variable, we need a generate. So
I don't know.
And finally, let's click deploy.
I don't know why I got this generate source map, but let's see. If I add that, let's see what else happens. 1 minute.
Project. Sorry, I'm missing something here. You need to configure your client React app that point to your. You need to configure your client React app that point to your server API. Okay, I use old API here. Okay, let's change it to your API that you have deployed. So okay, copy, just copy it, and pass to where you define your API URL. Right here, change it to okay. Yeah. Then just put it to GitHub or application. Anyone that comes
It works, but you know, we need one
check up
thing
to
that's
your
important.
it's server IP config to GitHub or to Vercel.
I'm trying to find, I couldn't find it. Still, I can't find it. One thing I see is that he added a generate source map and then he wrote false.
Okay, let's set it to full.
Let's try that. Like we don't have any. Maybe that's hinting me. Let's just have two things. Okay, two things. So I have two things that I have to change. First, let's go to the Vercel and in the deployment settings, go here, settings, and I guess this is the front end. So we have over here in the environment variables, we have this thing, which is backend URL. Look, view it. Yeah. Is it HTTP? Yes. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute. Let me add one more. Can we add? Okay. Generate underscore source SOURCMAP. I think it's like that, and then we have false over here. Let's just look at it to make sure. Okay, perfect. We're gonna redeploy it. Just 1 second. Front end. Go back to the projects. We're gonna redeploy this. But before redeploying, I have one more concern. We had remember that .env in the backend? Because this is my front end URL. This is my backend URL. This is my front end URL, right? Let's have this front end URL configured with our .env in the server file. This one. So, right? It's basically this. I believe this is the main root cause. Okay. I have this over here. So I'm not gonna modify the GitHub code. I'm only gonna modify. I might modify that too. Not sure. No. Let's see. So we have simple CRUD products CRUD app front end. Where's the other one? Simple products CRUD app. It should have been backend really. Let's go to settings and environment variables. Add node environment. Let's see, development. Okay, add one more. Front end. I think it's all caps. Yeah. So front end. And we'll have this pasted. Save. Okay, added. Deployments 12 seconds ago. Redeploy it. I just need to redeploy it just to see what happens. Same thing goes for the front end. I think I did deployments. Yeah. and redeploy this. Okay. It keeps changing, man. This is the current one. Still gonna work? Let's just have one thing. I don't want this. It's just a config mess of two different ones. Let's have text file opened up. This is my front end link, and my back end link is this one. So back end link is this one where okay. So let's just fix the front end link again. I mean, I want to see. There's no slash, bro. There's no slash. It really mattered initially, I remember. Copy. This is my front end link. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the front end deployment of it. I think in the back end deployment of it. Go to the settings. And the environment variables. You can see over here front end. Yeah. Edit. No longer this. It's actually this. Save. Is there anything I might need? Port 3000. I'm not sure, but let's just add it. Port 3000. So I added these four things. Let's go to deployments. Redeploy it again. Simple products CRUD app. Redeploy. See. Simple products CRUD app. Yeah. Waiting until this is done. Okay, it's ready. It just gives another link as well. The one that I'm currently working with is, let's see over here, visit, redeploy, copy URL. It's just keep giving me new links. Is the other one working? Simple product, this one. This is my current. Yeah. I hope it's the same one. Copy URL. It just keeps changing again and again. They all match to the same thing. Backend. Is this one? Okay. So front end uses settings, analytics, environment variables. We have source map, backend URL. See what it is. Okay, it's actually this old one. Backend URL, remember? Client. Wow, I don't know why it places a /. Let's see. I hope it's not. Yeah, for deployments. So let's see what happens now. Yeah, so there's actually a problem with the deployment. The URL is not fetched properly, or maybe it's just keep being changed, and that's why it's causing these all issues. Simple products CRUD app run, and it's this one. So copy this, and you know, it just Vercel keeps changing the URLs, and that's the reason why I'm unable to deploy it. Simple products app, but with another provider we can easily have it. Whatever happened over here? Simple front end. Perfect. Wow, that took so long, and we finally got it. I mean, I was managing a lot with the forward slashes, but I got it working, and now it's finally fixed. That is crazy, but we could add another product. Let's suppose, I don't know, I'm craving for plums. Plum. Let's say 32. Price is 2.334. And let's have a plum image from Pexels. Pexels.com. Plum. And get some plums, bro. Save image as, or copy image address. Paste it here. Save. And the plum is there. Amazing. Now it's working live, and I could showcase it to everyone. That is wonderful. Well done, everybody, for watching it till here, and I hope you like this video. I really thought there was an issue with the deployment, but finally we got it working perfect. There's the forward slashes are very big. You got to really be careful with the forward slash at the end. Do not add that. And if you don't, you know, you'll have everything set. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It will definitely mean a lot, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Peace out.